Good evening everyone, welcome to the Sugar and Crumbs kitchen. I'll just give you a couple of seconds while you all start loading up the page. But let me introduce you to Francesca, another little one in the kitchen. We need to get some big uns in here. So we're going to put her on a little stand. So this is Francesca. Now I get all my tongue twisted when I try to pronounce her full name. So Francesca Falbo. And what's this bit with this on?
It's Francesca Falbo Sahonta, but that's because I'm married name. So
you can she gives you the easy version. Yeah. I could have said Francesca Falbo, so I couldn't say the whole lot together. So we've got Francesca in the kitchen this evening. She is going to make a Mirror Glaze Cake, which Laura's going to show you in a minute, and some chocolate flowers. They are stunning, okay? Now, it's quite a technical thing this, so do pay attention. We are not going to answer any questions, okay, because we're going to listen and learn. So those of you who miss things, you know what? At the end of the night, rewind and go back again. So today for the wish list, we have put up a wish list. There's not many Sugar and Crumbs products being used tonight, but we have put up the wish list of all the new items that have come into the Sugar and Crumbs shop ready for Christmas. And if you need any last few bits for Halloween, we put in the chocolate, the Calabo chocolate that Francesca's going to use. But everything else that she's going to use is ingredients, and we don't really sell ingredients apart from our flavoured sugars. So do listen. Francesca will describe things to you. A lot of the things you can get from the supermarket or from Amazon, or if you just search, you'll be able to find them on the internet. So don't ask again, just try and listen, follow the demo, because it's very precise what we're going to do, and we've only got 2 hours. So make sure you listen. So we've got 2 guests in the kitchen as well. Karen Naylor of our admin has come along. She's been dying to see this, so she doesn't live too far away, so she's been able to get a sneaky peek. But she's only got one arm at the moment because she managed to pull one out of a socket, so she can't drive the car, so she's had to bring her friend Lynn, who's also a member of the Sugar and Crumbs community. We've got Laura on camera and Maria, as per usual, with her jacket on, hovering in the background. Come on, Maria. So you might notice that we've got a little balloon in the background and happy birthday. You might be wondering what that's about. Well, Sugar and Crumbs has finally reached 5 years. I can't believe it myself. 5 years old. I feel as though I've aged 20 years in those years, and I'm amazed John and I are still married. But there you go, we're going. We're still going. And we'll be at Cake International smiling happily next weekend. So 5 years old we are. Has it been fun? Yes, it has. Has it been stressful? Yes, it has. But we've made it, and hopefully we're going to make it for another 5 years. We're at Cake International next weekend, Thursday, Friday and Saturday. We're up for 2 awards at Cake International as well. They have a big awards event on the Saturday night called Cake Masters. At Cake Masters, we're up for yes, well done. Best retailer. I forgot. See, there you go, my excitement. Best retailer. There's 4 of us up there. Okay, there's Cake Stuff, the Cake Decorating and Cake Decorating Company, and Evil Cake Genius, and of course ourselves. So hopefully, we hope with our 5-year celebration, we're going to win that. You never know, but fingers crossed. Lots of you voted for us, so let's hope it's enough to get us through. We're also up for for Best Product as well. There's 8 finalists for Best Product. Amy Sweet Stamps, the Old Piping Bag, Karen Davies Mould, ourselves with our flavoured icing sugar, your friend, I think she's up there, what's she called, who we've just been talking about, the one with the eyes.
Oh, Silvia Mancini.
Yeah, I think she's up there as well. Sure she is, actually.
Yeah, I think
but
so.
Anyhow, and can you remember the other 3? No, I can't remember. Sorry, guys. But anyhow, there's 8 finalists up there, and you never know, we could be lucky enough to win both. Hope we do. You never know. So that's exciting news for us there. Anyhow, to celebrate as well our awards, John has put on a little offer. So if any of you want to buy icing sugar, it's for this weekend only. The code is automatic, so you don't need to put in any code. But the icing sugar has got 33% off, which means it's £2 a bag for every flavour. Wow. So your 500g bags are £2 a bag, and there's 33% off your big bags. So he's just put the code on now, so you don't need to rush off. Stay here and watch Francesca, but that's going to be on over the weekend till Monday night, we think. We think we'll finish it after the live on Monday. So that's a fantastic deal for you to get as much icing sugar as you want. It's delicious, and I think he's put it on the cocoa powders as well. So, which is very good. We don't normally do cocoa powder, it's so expensive. So, and then what else am I going to tell you? Nifty Nozzles class. The Nifty Nozzles class, we've done all our classes this year. We've got one last class available on the 10th of November, Nifty Nozzles. I've had 2 ladies come off the class and move to next year. So if anybody wants to fill those slots, let me know. They are available on the website. They're £99. And what else have I got to tell you? Next week we've got Zoe Quacker in on Monday night, Single-Handed Creations. Fantastic lady, she's going to do some models for you. So she's in on Monday, and then we're not doing a live on Thursday because we're setting up for the show. At Cake International, we've got 2 guests on the Friday. So at 10:30 we've got Vidya. She's going to start our Friday off by throwing gold dust all over our stand while we sing happy birthday, and she's going to make David Austin roses with paper flowers, with paper, and I'll have the paper and all the colours you'll be able to buy there. And then in the afternoon at 3:30 we've got Alison Johnson coming along to show you how to make buttercream flowers using the Wilton piping tips. And of course I'll be demoing all day on the Russian piping tips, and then you've got all the girls on the other side doing all the flavoured sugars as well. So that's it. I think that's all I need to tell you. So I'm just going to ask Laura, how's our audience growing?
Amazing.
Amazing.
And
That's
there's
what we want.
lots of people excited to see this demo. So
Right, okay then.
pleasure.
So I do want you to all listen, pay attention. Now we do have one little problem, but I don't think it's a problem. Francesca does, because she's worrying. When you make Mirror Glaze cakes, it has to go onto a frozen cake, okay? So she has done her cake, but she's had to travel to us. So of course it's defrosted slightly. We've had it in our freezer, so she's worried it might not be frozen enough. But I've said she's still to go along with it and not to panic. It's the method we need to know. So have you showed them this amazing cake that she's made earlier?
Oh no.
Don't we love it? What do you think of this
Beautiful.
cake? Do you want to tell them about it? So do you want to go over there and just tell them about it, Francesca? You can point out about it and show them those marvellous flowers that you're going to make.
So this is the mirror glaze, and I've used
I'll have to
one
shout
of the
right
molds.
up.
I've used one of the molds, which is just a flat surface for this one, and I've applied a mirror glaze in 3 colours. The beauty of a mirror glaze cake is any cake that you will do, it never will look the same, because it's just the way the mirror glaze will pour onto it. Then I just put one of the chocolate flowers that I've made. Just to show you how simply you can just embellish your cake. But to be honest, they are also very pretty even just without anything.
I have to say, they're absolutely stunning.
But I thought
Stunning.
because this cake
Maria's got her eye on it.
because I wanted obviously the staff here to taste it, so I made it as pretty as I could. This mirror glaze
Is this
cake,
one for us?
yeah.
Really?
Yeah. So afterwards, it'd be nice if you want to cut it so you can see the
Yeah,
inside.
we'll cut it live.
Yeah, so basically the inside is a white chocolate mousse made, we will show you how I made it. And the inside is a passion fruit filling. And then you've got a very small sponge base at the bottom. So it's more like, what you have to really think about it, the mirror glaze is more like a dessert. So for anyone that might find it a little bit daunting and doesn't want to do it as professionally, is actually something that you can just enjoy doing it for your family. Maybe Christmas, as Christmas is coming, you might want to impress your guest, and just maybe if you've got a special occasion. As I said, just have fun with it. As I started, I become addicted to it, and I'm trying to learn at the moment all the different techniques. And as I said, it's just mesmerizing when you do put the glaze. You see the design.
Well, I have to
coming
say,
life.
it looks mesmerising anyhow, doesn't it? Absolutely. And
And
I tell you what's equally mesmerising, these chocolate flowers. And you're going to show us how to make one of these? Which one are you going to show us?
We're going to show you this one here, which is.
I love that.
It looks complicated, but it's actually not that complicated. And the reason why I've started doing the chocolate flower is because generally the medium to decorate this kind of cake is chocolate. Because if you can put sugar paste and other things, but bear in mind obviously they might absorb the humidity that comes from the glaze.
Yeah.
But this one, it can be done, we will show you afterwards the steps. And it's just pure Belgian chocolate. And then there is different varieties of shapes and form. And this is just a peony. And this is like, you can call it a raffle pompon or raffle sort of
Amazing.
cake.
So let's get you back down here then.
Yep.
So where we can see you, okay? 'Cause
Perfect.
even though we're up there, they couldn't see you because they were too busy looking at the mirror cake. So I am going to leave you with Francesca. Now she is nervous. Everybody gets nervous in this kitchen. She doesn't need to be nervous. So big hug, Francesca. She's a great girl. She's coming here totally organised. But as per usual, just before we go live, everybody starts panicking. So make sure you get those thumbs up. Let her know that you're happy to see her. Also, when you can, go over to her page, like her page, do private message her afterwards, let her know what you think, because you know it's hard standing here in front of everybody, and I do it every week and I get it all wrong every week, my words backwards and forwards, never know which way I'm coming. But you know, she's a professional, she does a great job, and I want her to be totally relaxed. Yeah?
I will do. Thank you.
Roll
Thank
those
you, Jan.
shoulders. Good girl. I'm going to go over there and ask questions and be your assistant here.
Perfect. As Carol was saying, these classes can be quite intense because obviously I'm trying to show you in a couple of hours all the different stages that goes into doing mirror glaze. And bear in mind, to do a good job on a mirror glaze, you do need at least a couple of days because there is a lot of freezing in between. The glaze needs to set for 24 hours. So we are condensating the process in 2 hours. So the end result, it might not be exactly so to what you see in the cake, which I obviously did in time. But doing a mirror glaze is basically part of the patisserie world. So you will find these sort of cakes in posh patisserie that you can go around the country, and it's part of generally the French patisserie. So there is a lot of things that needs to be precise. So accuracy in terms of your ingredients is very important. Because again there is a lot for you to see tonight, I've already pre-measured and prepared all the ingredients so we don't waste time in doing that. But basically you will find the recipe available online, so you can give it a go if you would like to. One thing as well before I start, as many people will probably know, a mousse cake is done with cream. Because I work a lot with hotels and I do lots of cakes for the hotels, I've learned from the professional as well that, for example, you can substitute fresh cream with this kind of cream, which is called synthetic cream. And what I use is this one. It's called Mac Top Traditional from Magpie. And basically what it is not a proper cream, but it works like a cream, and is kind of takes away all the issues that you can have with traditional cream, which is obviously can go off. So if any one of you wants to give it a go on doing things for your clients with more cream in it, including the ganache, for example, if you want to do a ganache and you don't want to use the normal cream, give it a go with this one, because I said it kind of gives you a peace of mind, so you don't have to worry, oh, it might go off in transportation and that sort of things. So you will see how it works with tonight we will be using this cream. Right, so what I'm going to do first is to show you how we do the mirror glaze, which is the glaze that goes on top of the mousse. So what we've done is we've got here in a big jug, because I'm using the recipe that you've got is just the one. I've done ×4 to make sure that I've got enough tonight to cover the cake. So I've put here just the chocolate, white chocolate. So you can use any chocolate, either if you want to use, obviously the better chocolate you use, the tastier it will be. I've used Callebaut chocolate, condensed milk. Then I've got a thermometer. You'll need a thermometer. I choose to use this one, which is infrared, because at least you don't have to touch it. So you press it and you just find the temperature that you need. You can find it on Amazon, whatever, you can just shop around. And generally this is very handy for chocolate work. So when I do the cake, we'll be tempering the chocolate. Then we've got our gelatin, which is being bloomed, which means basically you have your gelatin in granules, which has to be...
if you could just turn this way and show the audience.
Yeah, can you see it?
It looks like you're talking to them on the
Okay.
screen. We need you to talk to Laura.
To me.
Okay.
So you just remember to keep looking at Laura.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So basically you can see it's quite solid now. So you have you measure your gelatin, which has to be 180 strength, and then you put cold water, so you rehydrate your gelatin, and once it's done, then you can use it and then you can put it. So what I'll do, I'll just show you. what it looks like. Just becomes quite solid. So I'm just going to put it in here.
They need you to shout up as well.
Okay.
Louder. She is a very soft, gentle lady. She's not like Carol from Sugar and Crumbs, too much to say at times.
You wouldn't expect
Maria,
from an
we
Italian
can't.
lady. Normally we're classified to be quite loud, but I don't think I am loud enough.
Can you do it that way?
Can you see?
Yeah, that's perfect.
Super.
Thank
So you just got your loads of chocolate, loads of condensed milk, and your bloom gelatin. So that's it. And then the next step is to do your sugar syrup. So sugar syrup, in what you do a lot in patisserie is you have to use glucose. Just any glucose, obviously, because I use it a lot, so I bought a massive tab. But you can, if you just do it for your family, you can find any small, even like in the supermarket, you can get it. And basically, you just need glucose, sugar, and water. Again, please refer to the recipe for the quantities. And that needs to be boiled on the gas. So I'm just gonna go to show you how and when to stop the boiling process, and then we just put it inside the jug.
Yeah.
So
So you'll see Maria is there poking her camera in the way, right in front of Laura's way. So we're adjusting Maria as we go along. So we're now over at the hob at the other side of the kitchen. Now, Francesca, you really are going to have to shout now,
okay.
as loud as you can, as though you're shouting at the kids.
Is this one actually started now? Yes.
There is a recipe, there's a Mirror Glaze recipe on the Sugar and Crumbs Mixing It Up website. Yeah, maybe a good idea if you all put headphones on like Elaine Lawton, you'll hear it loud and clear. So whenever you're ready, Francesca.
Are we on?
Yeah,
Yeah.
just basically now I've put, as you can see, there is the water, the sugar and the glucose already measured in the pan. And what we're going to be doing now, we're just going to boil it. And then once some people use the thermometer for this stage, but basically all you got to do is, eventually it's going to start boiling a lot. And that's why we've got this big pan, because you have to be careful, it can go out of the pan otherwise if you haven't got a pan big enough. And believe me, once it does come out, it's a big of a messy job to trying to clean up. So all you do is now just waiting a little bit for the sugar.
Hang on, just give me 1 minute, 'cause that camera's not active. Can't see your hands. No.
Which camera's not active?
The one on the hob.
Is there two cameras there?
No. I know,
So
but
just
can't
hang
see
on a
your
minute,
hands.
guys.
Yeah.
I can see it on there then.
Yeah, we can't see the spatula in it.
Oh, right, I see. Right. So Maria's just resetting the camera. 1 minute. Sorry.
No.
Yeah.
Which one is it? 2? Yeah, okay.
So sorry about the bark. That is me in the background. So for any of you guys who've just joined us, okay, just carry on watching because this is quite an intense lesson. So if you've missed anything, there's no point asking questions because there's people here who've been here from the beginning who want to watch it right the way through. So what I would say is what you've missed at the end, just go right back again. So we're just resetting the cameras a moment. So Maria is just running around like a lunatic, resetting the camera. Hold on. So you can see the pen. Can we move things around? So we'll just go back and show you the Mirror Glaze.
There we go.
Ah, there we go. Look at that. It's going to take 30 seconds for me to get mine. So I'm actually on live with you guys. So we're 30 seconds behind. So we're bringing this up to temperature, aren't we?
No, you've gone because that's.
Right, okay.
Right.
Maria's gone.
Yeah, she was.
I was looking at the pan a long time.
What's going on? That's definitely live.
We've got the pan.
There we go. We've got the pan.
Yay, good. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you are watching tonight, try not to ask questions. Francesca will explain everything to you as much as she can. The recipe for the Mirror Glaze is on our website. It is quite technical, so she'll talk you through it. And everybody who has joined us from the beginning is watching. They will try and answer some questions when we get little gaps. But otherwise, keep watching.
Yeah, you just need to
Yeah.
shout quite loud.
So you're going to have to shout as loud as you can, Francesca.
No problem. So now, in the meantime, what I'm doing at the moment with the sugar syrup, I'm just helping it to dissolve with a silicone spatula. So you just have to have a little bit of patience, but you will see in a few minutes it will start boiling. And as soon as you see that it's going to start forming like a white foam, and as soon as the white foam starts dissolving, then is the time for you to switch it off, and then you can use it. As Carol was saying before, these kind of cakes, they're actually taught in a proper patisserie school, so for you to be able to see it live tonight is a quite nice thing, because as I said, loads of people study many years as well and go through college to be able to do these kind of cakes. So just bear in mind that it's a little bit technical, but don't be disheartened as anything. If you want to do it, you just have to practice until you're happy with it. I'm still learning. Every cake I make is always a new learning curve. So just give it a go. Definitely, if you like this sort of cake, like mousse cake, it's definitely something to try. So as you can see, slowly we are getting the sugar slowly getting dissolved.
Yeah, I think you are really going to have to shout really loud, Francesca.
Oh.
They are. There's some deaf people in our group. So I thought I was one of them, but
Maybe Maria
there's people who can hear you
that.
very well, and there's people who are really struggling. So if you can shout as loud as you can, because we've only got one big microphone here. Can we pull that wire a bit further over?
Yeah.
So,
Now, I
if
don't
you
know if you
unplug
can
that.
hear, there is
I've got-
some sort of noise that comes out from
Yeah.
as an indication that it's slowly starting to get to boiling temperature.
Yeah. As
Can
loud
hear
as you
it
can.
better now? Is it better?
I think you have to going to get louder.
Oh my goodness, I think Maria's even going to become deaf. with that.
Yeah. Well, we don't care about Maria and her ears. There we go. Right, keep going, Laura. So we've got this microphone as near as we can to you. So if you can shout out again what you're doing.
No problem. So again, as I was saying, this is at the moment just the melting the sugar process. So what we want to achieve at the moment is to get the sugar to boil, and then to go down when the foam, the white foam is going to form. You just want it to start kind of disappearing. It's easy, obviously, when it happens to explain it actually, but at the moment everything seems to be okay. We just got the sugar and the water and the glucose are melting.
So everybody who's using headphones can hear very well. So those people who haven't got headphones, I'll probably say it's your appliance, not us, because I think everybody else can hear well,
Yeah.
can't they? So there's lots of people, mixed reactions. Those can hear. Maybe turn your volume up on your thing, or go and get yourself some headphones. So Jenny, somebody's just asked a question there. Julie Crompton, can you use anything else other than gelatine? Now we knew this question was going to come up, didn't we, Francesca?
Yes, we knew this question.
There was always one.
Obviously, there is the concern that for vegetarian, for vegan, and for religious reason, the gelatin is not suitable. Unfortunately, to get this kind of result, you do need to have gelatin. Some people use agar-agar. I personally have not used it. So if I just, in the meantime, I'll show you that it's already gone to boiling, and the foam is quickly has disappeared. So I have switched it off. So one thing you need to be very careful. This is super hot. So whenever you handle sugar, just make sure that you're very careful, because if it goes into your finger, it will be very painful. Yes, so sorry, as I was saying, you can use agar-agar probably, but I don't know if it will work with my recipe. It's something that I need to still to try. So by all means, you can give it a go, but obviously agar-agar might have to have a different type of blooming sort of consistency. I don't know. But by all means, if you want to give it a go, you can. Right, so this is a lot of glaze at the moment. So,
Whatever you do, don't knock that over, will you?
yeah.
So mixed reactions. Lots of people can hear it.
Okay.
Lots of people can't.
I'm just going to quickly get my spatula. Right, I'm gonna try to shout even more as much as I
there
can,
you
okay?
go. She is only little, remember.
Yeah.
Sorry. I was supposed to be going to London tomorrow to see my grandchild. I've had to cancel it. But I'm still here to do the live. I can't give her this thing, can I? Give it you lot instead.
Yeah. Thank you. Just in time for next weekend.
Can I ask if it's possible to have maybe a bigger bowl, because I think this one is not as big
Do you
for
want,
the...
do you want a big one like that?
Yeah, if you have one, it would be better, because I don't want to risk the one we put, because what we're gonna do now, we're gonna put the blender inside, so I don't want to risk
Metal
them.
or plastic?
Plastic will be
Do you
better.
think that'll be okay? Oh, I don't know, that's going to be about the same.
Otherwise, I can
Put
probably...
the chocolate in there?
Yeah,
Use
put the
that one.
chocolate in there,
Yeah. Super.
because we don't really want to risk it, so we're gonna
Do you
keep
need this
this
pen
one.
out of the way?
Yeah, no, but we still need some of the
Okay.
sugar syrup in there. So I'm just gonna carefully...
It's the better views come around here, Maria.
So I'm just gonna get all the chocolate is in there. See, there's a lot of glaze.
So do
As
you
I
want to
said,
just turn that jug round to the audience so they can see what you scrape this out now?
It's alright, I've sorted this.
right, just to let you know as well, you don't actually need this much glaze to cover the size of the cake that I'm gonna be showing, because again, they're not actually very big molds. They look big probably from the camera, but they're actually not when I'll show you afterwards. The reason why I've done it so much of it is because to do the
Can I just
techniques
pour
that
this in?
I'm going to show you, yeah, if you know, put it for me, thank you. That's pretty.
Do we need every drop?
As much as you can.
Oh no,
That's
leave it
it.
to scrape out.
That's it. That's fine. Thank you.
Can you bring that to the sense?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Perfect. So you can put this one as well for the sink. Yeah, so basically the reason why I'm doing so much, because obviously we're doing a live demo, I don't want to, whenever I'm going to pour it on top of the cake, what happens is the cake is frozen, so straight away the gelatin and the sugar will start sticking to the cake. So as you pour it down, you don't want it to miss any spots. So, and because you will see there is a lot of excess is going to go down, so it's easier just to have more than actually have less. So what I'm going to be doing now, right, I'm just going to quickly show you what you need. Thank you. The next step is actually, as I was saying, to use in the blender. The blender that I use is this one over here, and this is called Bamix. I think that's how you pronounce it. There are different type of blenders. Before I used to use a normal Kenwood one, you know, the one that they got like a sort of like a closed top. But what that does, it makes it a little bit more difficult to blend it, because one of the things that you really don't want to do in a glaze is to have too many bubbles, because anything that is in the glaze, it will show straight away on the cake. So there is a bit of a technique to do before, you know, in order not to get so many bubbles. So you have to kind of create like a vortex inside your the liquid, and to do that, this kind of open sort of mixer is actually better for this job. So what we'll do, obviously be careful that you're not gonna spill it everywhere. So I'll just put it inside. You know, if you can see.
Yep.
So just be careful the way you put it, because it can come out the bowl otherwise.
Just to recap, anyone who has missed the beginning, you can rewatch the whole Facebook Live when we finished. So the whole Facebook Live will be pinned to the top of the page. You can watch it back at any point once we've finished, and it will also get uploaded to YouTube as well by the end of the week. So the best thing to do with YouTube is head over to the page and subscribe to the Sugar and Crumbs and Nifty Nozzles channel, and then you won't miss anything that's uploaded.
Perfect. Right, so what we're doing now is, because normally, with my experience, the reason why I was originally starting with this sort of a jug because if you have something tall, it seems to create less bubbles than in a container that is large. But what we're going to do, now that we've mixed it, we're going to mix it in, separate it in 3 different jugs, and then we're going to proceed in coloring it. So I've got a couple of different jugs. So what we'll do, make sure that put this one here first. So I'm going to put some in this one.
Do you want me to hold that?
Yeah, maybe on the safe side. Yeah.
Yeah. Glad you said that.
That's it. Thank you, Carol. You can come to my house anytime.
Thank you.
Because normally at my house, the only help I get, Mummy, do you actually have anything left for me?
Yeah. I
Not
can feel
helping.
Maria breathing that down your neck now already. She'll be there like, yummy, yummy, chop, chop.
So what's the purpose of actually mixing it with the blender? Is it just to make sure everything's combined together?
Yeah, you need to, it's called making it an emulsion. So if you are mixing all the ingredients, because obviously you got the chocolate that is in a solid form, then you've got all this sticky sugar and everything. So you've got to make sure that everything is blended. And now when you will see the mirror glaze coming to life as soon as we put the colors. So in the next few minutes, you will see the difference. So what I'm doing at the moment, I'm only putting basically 3, I'm dividing by 3 because we've just decided to do 3 colors. So this one is quite big.
And does it matter the measurements? Do you make
No,
them up measurements?
yeah, you can just make it. You can decide, for example, what we're going to be doing tonight is we're going to be using purple, white and fuchsia or pink if you want. And that's because you want something that is contrasting, and having the white in between is always nice because it kind of makes the dominant colors different colors as well. You get different stripes. Because what we're going to be showing tonight with the cake that we show you before, it's got a hole in the middle, so we're going to be doing like a stripe sort of design. But by all means, you can just do one color, especially if you start for the very first time. Maybe don't start with 3 different colors, which is a little bit more complicated.
That's a good tip actually, isn't it? Just
Start with one color
and 2, then 3, then
yeah,
4, then 5.
Exactly, and then you can become more adventurous as you get along. But to start with, maybe just do one color. And what I've noticed, the darker colors, they're easier to use than the lighter colors. For example, if you use like a dark blue, the consistency of the mirror glaze, it doesn't change. But if you use white, for example, you have to be careful because it's got titanium dioxide inside. It makes the glaze quite a bit thicker. So you have to be, it's only again trial and error. So you got to see which one it works better. But just make sure, one definitely to watch is when you use white, and then you will see what I mean. This extra glaze, we can leave it. I'll just put it out there for a minute.
Can you hear her now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we have to go up the other end of the kitchen, and we didn't think about a speaker up that end. Right,
So.
note, Laura, Maria, extra speaker.
Yeah.
More spotlights up there.
So we're just gonna clean up all our spillage
That's
because
about right. Somebody who cleans up after them. Great.
because it's very sticky. So
Yeah.
and also that's the only thing I like once it's all fun doing the cake, but when actually some come to clean it, it's not so fun. Right. So what we've got here, just about as I said, this is only purely for demonstration. So you can choose whichever color you want. The best colors that you need to use is is the gel colors. Don't use the paste or the powder because they just change the consistency.
So always the gel.
Yeah.
And in fairness, Francesca's favourite colours are Pro Gels, which is why that word nearly popped out of her mouth, which we don't mind. Renshaw will be very happy that we are promoting Pro Gels tonight. We do sell a full range of them on our website, by the way, but those are her favourite range of colours. But she wanted to put, I didn't bring them home from work, so she's using Fractal, which is one of my favourites.
Which is good for me too, so because I can see as well how the other gels work. The reason why I use Pro Gel is because when I started my business, I've mainly started with French macarons, and French macarons are notoriously a nightmare to do. So when you find something that works, because it's all to do again with moisture, with etc. So you stick with it. So the reason also is because I've got loads of it. So that's the only thing. But by all means, if this one it looks Good.
I love that because I've got loads of it.
Yeah.
That's a good reason.
Yeah. So I'm.
Sorry about my bark. I'm supposed to be going to London tomorrow to see my new baby grandchild, and I'm going to have to miss out because I don't want to make her hair poorly. So I thought I'd make the staff supper instead.
Right, in terms of quantities, it's up to you. I mean, you can put a bit more and or a bit less just to start grading. Generally speaking, when you put a darker color like this one, it will go dark. So what we need to do, one thing that I have forgot before to mention, if some of you will be kind to boil some water and put it in this jug.
How much do you need?
Quite a bit up to there. The reason is what I'm doing now is
Boiling water.
yes, please, because the bay mix, for some reason, this does not come off. I don't know why they've designed it this way, but because it doesn't come off and it's difficult to wash it, what I normally do at home in between, I just use boiling water. And so when I do, because obviously I'm doing different colors, so when I would start with the white one, for example, so it makes sense because even if you have a bit of white and you put it on a darker color, it doesn't matter too much. But if you start with a blue color, for example, and then you put in a white, then obviously you're not going to have a white anymore. So now we'll just going to show you how to mix the first one, which is the white one. So I've only put a little bit because again, when you use white, if you put too much, it'll become too thick, and you don't really want that. And I didn't put a lot of it, and you can see it's already enough to have a nice white color.
It's going white very quick, actually, isn't it?
Yeah. So literally, and now you can see can you see the shine of the glaze? You can see it already. So that's the beauty of this thing is it is very pretty and it makes any cake look absolutely stunning.
Can you get that in front of that camera there so they can see? You see in this camera? Can they see it? Laura?
Yeah.
Right, because basically now, as you can see, I'm trying to do like a whirlpool sort of motion. I'm keeping it quite still because you don't want to move it too much because loads of bubble will start appearing. And also what happened, because we're not using professional massive sort of type of blenders, these one can get quite hot very quickly. So you don't want to do that because you've got to do 3 of them. So I'm just going to put it there for the moment.
And can that white one not just go straight into your colour? That's gone really white, hasn't it?
Yeah, so it is. Now this one, because the technique I'm going to show you, as I said, if you were just doing a white cake, which are still very pretty, you would just use this one, for example. And you see there is just only a few bubbles at the top. What normally we would do, once you prepared your glaze, you cover it with cling film and you leave it at room temperature overnight. So if I'm doing a cake tomorrow, I will do it sort of like a late afternoon, leave it at room temperature, and it's perfectly fine. And then it's ready for tomorrow for glazing because the color intensify and also the gelatin sets, so you'll have a better coverage. It would be more liquid when we're going to show it to you later, hopefully if the cake is also frozen.
She's worried about this cake.
Yeah.
I've told her not to worry. It will always be all right on the night.
Right, so another trick that I've learned, that I picked up seeing the hundreds of videos how to do this stuff, because actually I'm self-taught with this technique. Like majority of the things like the macarons I actually learned by myself. So as I said, with just determination you can learn anything if you put your mind into it. So what you do with dark colors especially, obviously with the white not so much, although it does look still a little bit yellowish. I don't know if you, I might
Take
put
it to the camera so they can see.
which camera is it? That
This
one?
one, can you see that eye there? Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, it's still got a bit of a tinge of yellow from the color and from the chocolate, sorry, and the condensed milk.
Yeah, but I don't think so. I think it looks quite white.
But you don't want to, as I said, put too much because it just changed, it becomes a bit too thick. But what you want to do when you do your dark colors, one mistake I think people do is just don't, if you put just a tiny bit of something like that, it's called titanium dioxide, you normally use it a lot. You can, some people use it as well for coloring fondant, sugar paste. You can use it for different things to color buttercream. What it does, again, you just want a little bit, I will put it some in a minute. First I'll blend it, because what it does, it will make the color slightly less intense, but the most important thing, it will actually help when you pour it on the cake not to be translucent, because when you pour it without this one, you might still see through the cake underneath. And if you're using a dark chocolate, for example, you don't really want to see that. A dark chocolate mousse, you don't want to see that. Instead, you just want to see the glaze. And one of the tricks that I've learned is just to put a little bit of this powder, and it makes it, for some reason, it makes it sort of like to stick better. So now because I'm going to put some white, it doesn't matter that I've got some white from there. So again, you just put it there, and very quickly you see the color coming. And I really like the dark color because I think you can see properly the mirror glaze. And as I said, it doesn't really change so much the consistency. And you see there was some, yeah, if you can put it in, I'll take it in a second. What I'm just doing now, there was some bubble at the top. So as you can see, it's like a little whirlpool sort of motion. I'm keeping the blender in a way.
Just put steam in front of the camera.
I don't know if you can see it properly. There is like a whirlpool sort of motion.
We need to get closer.
Is that okay?
Yep.
And what it does, the bubbles naturally will go inside the whirlpool and they will pop. So that's what you need to try to do when you do a mirror glaze, because they are absolutely a nightmare. When they do appear, you really feel really frustrated, because even if you pop them, then you have like a little hole on your cake, and then it's not the result that you want. So I'm just gonna go a bit lower just to make sure.
I reckon I know what my Mirror Glaze cake's gonna look like. Lots of pop bubbles.
Right, I'm gonna put a little bit more color because I want it a bit darker, so you get a bit more of a contrast. So just only a little bit of white, so you don't want too much of it.
Back up to the camera.
And at this stage, you really can see the shine of the mirror glaze.
It looks beautiful, doesn't it? And do you have to get it all incorporated because you've got some around the top there, yeah?
Yeah, so there's some. You just have to be careful not to go. You can go close to the side of your jug, but don't go too much close to the surface, because if you go close to the surface, it will start creating massive bubbles, and they are a nightmare to get rid of. We can use a spatula to grab the color afterwards that is left on the side, but I think I'm quite happy with it.
Where do you want this jug? Is that what's going in the jug, is it?
Yeah, so what we normally do,
There we go.
so you just put it, pop in there, and then you can get big blades. Just be careful that it doesn't.
Yeah. Get your spoon there. Swash on the sides. I'll feed his own bath in the kids. Do you remember that? You used to flick them, didn't you? Like that, the kids. I'm not sticking
Maybe
fingers
not,
in.
maybe
Not
not.
with water that hot. No, sorry. No, I did used to put my elbow in the water first.
Let me just quickly dry it.
The flicking the kids motion was what I used to do. Kids would be dying now, knowing that they were flicked when they were kids.
And then now, we'll move this one maybe on the side.
Do you want me to comb that down?
Yeah, if you can actually use one of the spatulas there. Brilliant. So you got it looks almost like red, this one actually. Again, when you do leave it for overnight, you will see that the color is more intense the following day.
I love this purple orchid colour. This is lovely.
Yeah, that's really nice color actually.
Oh, crikey, that is red, isn't it? Right, so there's that purple orchid. Awkward.
So I've got to do a little bit of our powder, titanium dioxide, and then I get the big jug because sometimes it's cheaper to buy in bigger quantity than.
Well, the volume that you make it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think for somebody giving it a go, I'm sure they could buy a small little tub, couldn't they?
You don't need a massive one. See now, because I'm putting the white, also makes it a bit more pink.
There we go. Nice clean spatula.
You can use that one as well to whiten chocolate a bit more. You know, like because chocolate is naturally yellow. you can use that one as well, but you'd have to use a blender because it's in powder and it's quite sticky. Actually, it has changed quite a bit the color on this one.
Those are lovely colours, them, aren't they?
I just found it because fuchsia is. I wanted to have something that it was quite, bright. Like fuchsia is quite bright, but there are not many in the market, so I just happened to find this one. Otherwise, it's pink or strawberry or. Yeah, that's a bit better. You got a bit more intense pink. So again, just be careful not to incorporate too many bubbles. Oh, another trick that you can do, especially at the beginning, if you see now from how the mirror looks from the blender.
Yeah, that's very shiny.
You actually see how shiny it is. I forgot what I was going to say now.
Don't know.
No, it will come back to me in a minute.
And do we have to leave it so there's no bubbles in it?
Oh yeah, that's it. That's what I was saying. Even if it's only a couple of bubbles, that's not, because I'm gonna reblend it just before I pour it. It has to be reblended because now we're gonna let it rest. So we're just gonna clean this one again. And I think I'm just gonna pour, because I'm a bit particular. I need to have everything completely perfect. So I think this one is still a bit too yellow. So I'm just gonna leave that 1 second. I put a little bit more of this. Yeah, what I was saying, if you got a little bit of bubbles, you can use like a little, if you have like a...
I like the way you say bubbles. It sounds nice, doesn't it? It sounds really cute. You've got a little bit of bubbles.
I said the first time I said to Cara, I hope they can understand me when I speak, because I don't speak like the dolmio sauce.
Listen, they have trouble understanding me.
You'll
be fine.
Because I'm Italian, and then people think like we all speak like Luigi from the dolmio sauce, and that really winds me up. But anyway, that's another story. No, I've been here for a long time, for 18 years, so I'm becoming more English than Italian at the moment. Right, so that's fine. So you got now a nice white color there. And again, look how shiny it is.
Yeah.
It's quite pretty.
Do you want that to go with this one, sir?
Yeah, we can. At the moment, now I'm not going to need it just until we, at the end. What you do at the end, you'll, what's the little thing over there? Thank you. What we do, because now we're going to leave it to rest. Because, as I said, normally ideally is overnight, but what we're going to do, we're going to put some cling film on, same as you do when you do your ganache. We're just going to put a little bit of cling film on so it doesn't form like a film. And then, before doing it, we're going to have to reheat it slowly in the microwave, because it's going to have to be, to a workable temperature, it's going to be between 34 and 38. I prefer to be more on the 38, because when it gets colder, it becomes more thicker, because obviously with the gelatin, so I prefer to work it when it's still a little bit on the liquid side. So we just like this, you cover it, but then the good practice is to reblend it again, so you get all the everything it's supposed to be mixed well, basically, but you will see it in due course. So I'm just gonna put this one. And then
that's quite a good trick now about putting the cling film on the chocolate. I would have just gone straight over the bowl, over the top, but you do that to stop it forming a skin.
If you do ganache, it's always best to put cling film, and it's a good thing as well, because you can touch it and you can actually feel how firm it is.
So guys, look at those three colours, aren't they brilliant? So that's going to be the colours of our Mirror Glaze.
So
pleased with that.
Just to show you, for example, the cake that I've done for these guys, I've used these same two colors, and then I used blue instead of purple. And as you put it together, it all depends as well on when I'm going to be mixing these three colors. I'm going to put them in a jug, and also the way you put them in the jug will affect how you...
Nearly as big as you, this thing.
I know.
Yeah.
I need a stool. You see, like, basically what we're going to be trying to do afterwards, with this kind of motion, you go like this, and then you'll end up having these stripes. And the stripes come every time differently. And as I said, if you put your colors, depending, for example, which color you put first, which position you put them in the jug, you will end up with a slightly different design. So every time it's just it's just a new type of design really. And this little pretty ruffle thing is just made with white chocolate, and you just finished it off. And
so when we talk about the cake,
Yeah.
the cake, we're not going to make the cake tonight, but they can make any sponge cake, can't they? Very thin layer.
Yeah, the Genoese one is probably the one we were saying that is probably more familiar for everyone, because ideally in the patisserie world they will use things like jacon, dacquoise and whatever, but because obviously we don't want to go too
When
technical.
she mentioned those names, we had no idea what she was going on about.
Yeah, and maybe you probably heard it on Bake Off, which by the way they were doing a mirror glaze.
Yes, I know, they thought that was good last night.
So the poor things that they had to do it like never done it before in 2.5
God
hours.
bless them, yeah.
I think they did really well. But yes, normally you can go as complicated as you want if you want to really do it the French way. But to be honest with you, the just thin sponge will do. Even for example, I've been using for example, if you do a red velvet, just use like a, you know, if you got maybe the Wilton sort of pans, you know, the single pan, just as soon as you just cook it, and it's perfectly fine. Obviously, if you choose to buy a mold that has got a hole, you will have to make a hole in the middle. But otherwise, what I would recommend, if you don't want to break the bank, and because it can be very expensive to buy all these molds and everything, but if you, because by the way, these molds, they are mainly done in Italy. There are two companies, they are the main ones that they do them, and they're called, the one that I prefer is called Silicomart, and they do amazing molds, and then when you see them you think, oh my god, I want them all, but they are quite expensive. So my suggestion is, because you will need a silicone mold, just
But
buy...
the cheap one from Asda will do, you said.
Yeah, just buy, you know, like...
Just in case Jacqueline Heaton's watching.
I'm just thinking, I don't know how to describe, but probably, you know, like they look like terracotta sort of color. The simple one that you can also cook a normal sponge. I've used them to cook a normal sponge, and they're perfectly fine. And actually, you don't even have to grease them because they just come out.
And would you always use a smooth mould, or could you use one with a pattern with the mirror glaze?
No, you can use with a pattern. Obviously, the more pattern you have, the mirror glaze will go into the hole, so you have to be a bit careful with that. But generally, yeah, you can use they all come with different shapes. I've got some of them, they've got like I haven't used them yet, they've got like bubbles on top, so they look really, really pretty. If you do look on my page, I've done the Christmas one, and I've done a Christmas log one, and that comes with a pattern. And another technique that you can do with this kind of cake is called the velvet effect, which is a completely different story. But those are the two.
Let's not go there.
Yeah, let's not go there now.
Let's deal with this one.
But it's basically either you can cover them with mirror glaze or with velvet, which is also very pretty. But yeah, so this, and what we were discussing before, probably some of you will wonder if you can do it with a normal full cake sponge. You can try doing that. If you do do a normal sponge and then you just cover it with ganache. Yeah,
Can I say this way?
right. Yeah.
I'm waiting for you to get onto your next stage.
Yeah.
I wish I'd never had the question about sponge now.
Yeah. If you do a sponge, just make sure that you cover it perfectly smooth with ganache. I wouldn't do the buttercream because I don't think it will taste as nice butter with the glaze. Just do a nice ganache and perfectly smooth, and then again it needs to be completely frozen, and then you can pour the buttercream if you're not a big fan of mousse.
What do you want me to do with this?
This one now they just need to stay on a side somewhere, because we're just gonna keep them.
And what are you going to do now?
Now we're just gonna quickly show you how to do the mousse base.
Yep.
And the mousse base is actually
The only
quite
reason I'm
easy.
telling you is it's 5 to 9.
5 to 9. Okay, perfect. The mousse is actually not too difficult. All you gotta do is put your chocolate in a plastic bowl. We still got again our gelatin, and then you need to heat up to about 80 degrees the cream. The first part in the recipe, it says 350 grams of cream. So that one is the one that you need to heat up first. So I'm going to take my thermometer and I'm just going to go to the kitchen again.
Do you want me to put it in the microwave? Oh, mine, no.
Well, actually,
Me and chocolate in the microwave.
Yeah, well, you could do.
Sorry,
The other thing
forget
is,
that.
no, actually, yeah, you
Shouldn't even involve myself with me and
No,
chocolate.
you're right actually, because what I've got here is the lemon juice. The lemon juice helps to do the emulsion and helps to incorporate and also actually make it taste quite nice. So this one needs to be heat up a little bit. So if you can just heat up for about 30 seconds, that'll
30
do.
seconds.
Do
Are
we
you
have
going
a
to do it
spoon?
down there? Because there's no camera
Yeah.
here.
Is there a camera there?
No.
There's only the one on the hob.
Only the
here.
one on the hob.
Yeah, the hob. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's all I need. Yeah.
You do know this hob has never been used when it's been in this kitchen. We'll
need you to shout really loud again, please.
As loud as you can. Shall we bring that microphone over here?
So we'll need my spatula again.
Spatula again?
Yes, please.
Yep.
So now again, we're just waiting for, because it's such a small quantity, because I only need the same recipe that I've given you. I've not multiplied it.
Alright, as loud as you can.
Yeah. It shouldn't take long really for the cream to boil. And this is the cream as I was telling you. So if you look at it, the cream before I was telling you, so this is not fresh cream. This is the synthetic cream that I was mentioning before. And it's got like a bit of a tinge, sort of yellowish. And also it's already come sweetened, so it's already got sugar. And that probably helps the shelf life, because anything with sugar always helps to preserve it. So we just mix it, because it can obviously get stuck to the bottom, so you don't want that. You just want to make sure that it doesn't overheat. And just to show you this little gadget that I've got, all you do, you point it on your liquid, and then you press this one, and automatically tells you what temperature it is at the moment. So at the moment it was 34, and it was 32 now.
So let me just ask you a question. So Jenny Skull says, why do you need a hole in the middle? You don't need a hole in the middle for mirror glaze.
No, it's just the mold that I've chosen, just to do, because when you do the stripe, you need the hole in the middle. You can't. I mean, you can do it on a flat cake, where you will not.
But it's a better effect,
Isn't it?
So Jenny, in answer to your question, she uses the mold with a hole in the middle, so that when she's going around doing the stripes, it's going from one side of the cake to the middle of the cake and backwards and forwards and so forth. Whereas when you do it on a big cake, you don't get quite the same effect, because I've seen it where it all blends, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You end up getting one colour going all the way over, pushing the other colours off, don't you?
Yeah, normally if you do it on a flat cake.
And you can leave it open, the hole, after she's done it, but because she's making chocolate flowers tonight, she's popped one on the top, that's all. Personal decoration, personal choice.
Yeah, it's just to show you how you know, if you want to go all for it and put decoration in the middle, or otherwise, as I said, you don't have to put anything really. We're nearly there, 73 degrees. So anything in patisserie, you need to be fairly precise. So in these recipes.
So let me ask you the next question.
Yeah.
How long does the mirror glaze keep with its shine?
To be honest, the shine only really keeps for proper. As soon as you glaze it, you see is the amazing shine. But then, as you put it in the fridge, it kind of loses a little bit. Yeah, so generally a day, I would say. Obviously, it's something that you need to keep in the fridge, because even if.
So when you've made your cake, for storing it, would you keep it in the fridge all the time?
Yeah.
Yeah. Great.
If you go to a normal patisserie shop, you will see them in the fridge area. You wouldn't keep them at room temperature, really.
Super. Shout as loud as you can. And I'm just letting you be aware of the time.
Yeah.
It's 3 minutes past 9. I don't know how long it takes you to make flowers.
I'll try to do. I won't do as big as that one, but I'll just show you the as much as I can. All the different elements. It's mainly just tempering the chocolate and the leaves. Actually, you will be surprised how quickly it is.
Right. Let me go back to the mirror glaze, because there's a few more questions come up.
Yeah.
So Sue Dove has just mentioned, I've missed a comment. Someone's asked, if it sets, does it set dry, the mirror glaze?
No, it will be still tacky, so you have to be careful when you transport it. When you touch it, it will be sticky.
But when you cut it though, it wouldn't run though when you cut it, would it?
No, when you cut it, it will still stay. But what I suggest, to keep it clean, because you imagine the inside is soft, you need to have preferably a hot knife.
Yeah.
Either put in hot water and then dry it.
Well, we're going to cut this one here live tonight, aren't we?
So you cut the first slice, then clean it, and then cut the second slice. So that way you have a cleaner sort of cut. Otherwise, it can drag the colors and everything. So what I've done here, I've just put my gelatin inside the hot cream, and I'm going to take this one now.
And Robert Allen's just said a giant donut silicone mold would be perfect.
Yes,
absolutely right. Well done, Robert Allen.
Yeah, you can do that. That's as I said, you can just choose anything as soon as it's silicone, because it won't come out otherwise if it's on a different material.
So we've got a few people who are a bit impatient. They can't wait until you start pouring the mirror glaze on. So what Francesca's trying to tell you, this isn't a quick process. You have to make the cake the day before. It needs to be frozen. So it's the cake and the mousse the day before. It needs to be frozen. You then have to make your gelatine. You need to let that to set your chocolate. Wait a minute. You need to then make your coloured chocolate. And that has to set, so you do that the same day as your cake, so everything goes in the fridge together, doesn't it? So we're speeding the whole process up. Francesca's made a cake, brought it in the car. It's now in our other freezer, because that's the coldest one. So I'm sure I'm going to be doing a runner to get that shortly. We are going to use the chocolate without it being set, as long as she would like. But Francesca is confident that that's going to be fine.
Yeah, that's not a major problem. It's just, it obviously, I'm telling you how it's supposed to be done, but obviously, you know, it'd be okay.
In an ideal world, make the cake, make the mirror glaze the day before you start to pour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
super.
yeah, the cake needs to be well frozen, and if you put do the mirror glaze the night before.
Let's just stop. Our podcast has been interrupted. We've stopped. Oh, we've come back again. We're back again. Great. We just had a little frozen moment. There, that was good. Francesca didn't know it, but she could have a breathe.
I didn't know it either.
It did. It froze.
How strange.
Yeah, it just froze for a second.
Okay.
The recipe for the mirror glaze is on the website, and the chocolate flowers, I don't know whether they're on the website, are they?
To be honest, for the chocolate flour, there is no recipe. It's just chocolate, temper it, and then just the technique. So there is no recipe to that one.
Yeah.
It's purely chocolate.
Yeah. So guys, if the podcast goes, don't worry. Just give it a second, like you all did then, and let's just see if it comes back by itself. If it doesn't come back by itself, you will have to give us a couple of minutes to reset. But we are live, so don't worry, we're here. So carry on, Francesca.
Perfect.
You're doing a great job.
Right. So what I'm doing now.
But you have only got 55 minutes.
We've got now the cream, the hot cream with the chocolate, so obviously it's melting like you would do a ganache. But again, what I'm doing now is I'm just using another blender, so at least I keep that one for the glaze. Any blender will do, and all you're doing is called making an emulsion. And I actually recommend it whenever you do ganache. If you're making emulsion, you will end up with a much more silkier ganache at the end.
I want to ask you a question. Pamela Joan Briggs has asked, could you pour mirror glaze over a no-bake cheesecake? And if you can, would you freeze the cheesecake first?
Yeah, everything needs to be always
That's good,
frozen.
isn't it?
Yeah.
I tell you, I think I like that idea.
Yeah.
Forget the cake, buy a cheesecake, freeze it, make the chocolate. Good girl, Pamela. We like that one. We can use our flavoured ice and sugars in that. Right? Our flavoured ice and sugars are great for no-bake cheesecake. Francesca, why did you not think of that? Forget the moulds. Forget all that mousse stuff.
Yeah, if you want just to go ahead. I love cheesecake as well, so it should be really nice as well. I think it's, again, you just try things, but the only thing that you have to have is a frozen cake underneath.
A frozen cake.
Right, so I'm just going to carry on doing the mold.
That's just made my life easier.
So sorry for the noise, but you just have to bear with it.
I'd leave it up there for a bit then.
Yeah, everyone deaf in the process. Right, again, I would probably normally leave it for a little bit, but when we put now our warm lemon, and you will see from kind of liquidy, it's gonna go much better. So it doesn't make so much noise. See how it changed?
They all saw your face when she mentioned cheesecake. We could have made your life so much easier, Francesca. No baked cheesecake. Here you are showing them all the technical stuff like a true professional. We like cheats here at Sugar and Crumbs. We like it nice, quick and easy.
Sometimes it's, you do need a quick fix, and you don't want to necessarily go through the whole trouble.
Yeah. Well, Pamela's very happy because she makes lots of cheesecakes and is always looking for new ideas. But if you make one of those, Pamela, let us know, because we would love to see it. But you'll be having a go at that, you too, won't you?
Right, so I just have to, so now we've got about 38, so yeah, it's not too bad. So what we're going to do now, we need to quickly whip in here, we've got with the 400 grams.
What are you doing?
To stole the camera.
Oh, we stole the camera. Sorry.
Spatula.
Oh.
It's over here, it's over here. Fine.
So you're getting good at this job, Marie. You know what? We might keep you another year. How long have you been here now?
1.5.
1.5 years, cracky. Might make it to 2 yet, girl. You could be celebrating our. What could she be
6th
celebrating?
year.
6th year, yeah. Christmas, yeah.
You got it? Right, so what we've got here is the other 400 grams of cold cream. And all you need is preferably a stand mixer like this. And what you want to do, you don't want to whip it to full whipping stage. Volume, yeah, thank you. You basically just want to make it look like is melted ice cream. So that's sort of still loose, because if you do it too much, then this one will become a bit too thick, and when you actually cut it, it is not as pleasant to eat it. So the level of viscosity, if you want to call it that way, of the cream is very important, because then it will be nicer to eat at the end. So now we just probably again we're going to make a bit of noise. It won't take long just to whip this much.
What do we need?
That's it.
You can't have your arm in.
Sorry.
Do you want us to turn it on and off for you?
Yeah, it's alright now, where she is.
Yeah,
It's
it's alright. Just tell them when you want it on and when you want it off. On, off, Lynn, do as you're told. For those of you who have missed, we've got 2 guests in the kitchen. We've got the one-armed Karen Naylor, who's now managed to pull her arm out of her shoulder. And we've got we broke it in 3 places as well. And then broke it in 4th when I was trying to get that t-shirt on you before.
So as you can see, I'm just showing you in stages. This is too liquid, because you can, when you lift it up, as you see, it's too liquid now. Yeah. So we're just gonna do it again. A bit higher.
Elaine Lawson says,
We have a hand model.
Elaine Lawson says, can you use fresh cream?
Yes, actually, if you use for your family, I would say use fresh cream. Oh, sorry. And for your family, just by all means, obviously the fresh cream is the better, because it will taste how it's supposed to taste. I wanted to show you because not many people know that synthetic cream exists. That was over here, actually. Sorry, as I was
And would you
answering.
recommend a brand of fresh cream?
Any double cream that you can use, or whipping cream. You just basically want you can just any cream that you can find from the supermarket, and it will obviously taste nicer. But as I said, the ladies, when they want to try the cake which is made with this cream, I don't think you will notice a massive difference. Now, so what we're doing here, I just want to show you. So see how still quite liquid, and it does resemble a bit like a melted ice cream.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's all you need. And you just want to make sure that this one is not too
Stick in there.
it's not too hot, because if you put cold cream on a too hot sauce, obviously type of thing, it will kind of melt that one. So now we are on still on 38, but if you look at it, if I move this one, it goes on sometime on 35, because obviously the middle is still probably a little bit warm, but 38 is fine.
I think I'm going to get you to give me a lesson how to use one of those guns. I bought one several years ago on Prime because I desperately needed it the next day. And as you can imagine, it's still in my cupboard, wrapped, unused. Use yours.
Right, so what we're doing now, you start with a little bit of your cream inside your emulsion, and you just mix it. First, so I don't know if you can see it from this camera. Is everyone understanding? Does it seem like too complicated,
No.
or you ever thought that maybe it was done this way? I think people wonder how these cakes are made.
I didn't think it would take this long.
Yeah, it's a long process.
It's quite a complex demonstration, which is why I said,
Yeah.
anybody who's only just joined us, watch what you can and then catch up the rest later. And the other thing is, if you don't want to watch the comments, swipe to the left or to the right, whichever way it goes. But do put your thumbs up. You know, Francesca here is working her little socks off, and she is only a diddy little thing as well. What is an alternative to cream, please? That's my Teresa Knight is asking. Is there an alternative to cream?
Probably.
Yeah, Elm Lee. Could you use Elm Lee? Is
Oh
Elm Lee?
Yeah, you can use that one.
Yeah.
If you can use synthetic cream, you can definitely use something like that. If people want to try the vegetarian option, I guess, I don't know if there is. Unfortunately, I'm not too savvy. I need to become a bit more savvy on the vegetarian option. Maybe something that is substitute.
Well, they're going mad with the loves and likes and positivity, Francesca. They're such a great group here at Sugar and Crumbs. Everybody who watches are really, you know, they all get in, they do as they're told. Good guys. Love you all. Well done.
I suppose, as you said last time when I watched it, it's not. It's a big opportunity for everyone to have all the tutors that come here and they share.
Yeah, absolutely.
Their
This is what I'm saying. You know, you've come here, you've gone to a lot of effort. You've gone to a lot of effort, preparation, a lot of money, okay? And you're here and you're giving up your night to show everybody how to make a mirror cake. You know, there's not many people who do that. And you know what? Us as a community, we really appreciate it. I did send out a message the other week asking everybody what they would set, what they liked. And mirror cakes was there on the list. So totally grateful.
So now,
and it also shows everybody how hard you work, because you make these for a living, don't you, as well? So there's a lot of effort going into your cake there, and you know you have to ask yourself, crikey.
Yeah, and obviously, as I said, I choose because these cakes, if you use the cheap quality ingredients, you will end up with a less tastier sort of product. So you want to use as much as you can the good stuff. So this is now your mousse made, and to be honest, this is actually quite delicious at this stage, just to eat it on a spoon. And
it looks delicious. I'm dying to dive into that.
And you know, if you want to use it, if you want to forget about the mirror glaze.
Look at her. She's eyeballing you, Francesca.
Yeah, licking the ball at the end.
I tell you, look, she stays right skinny whippet all the time. You want to see the stuff she eats.
I don't know. So I mean, since I've started this business, I can't tell you how much weight I've put on. But basically, what I was gonna say like you want to do a trifle, or you want to do just, you know, like the mousse on the glass and whatever. You don't have to go with, you know, if you want to use this recipe for just having a normal mousse sort of dessert, but it's perfectly fine.
You know, everybody's appreciating you coming up to see us,
as
they do all our tutors, because you know they need to remember they're sat at home on their settee moaning about the sound. Eh?
Yeah. Right, so this one is the mold that I've used for that cake that you saw before. I quite like this one. This one?
Yeah.
I quite like this one because it's got a bit of a flat sort of surface. I do another style which is called the spider effect, which I absolutely love. So it looks like I don't know how to describe it. It does look like a spider effect. And it's nice because if you need to have like a sort of flat surface. So bear in mind, these type of molds, they do attract a lot of airborne particles everywhere.
Well, everyone says that they're glued to this demonstration. They're very impressed. So
very good.
It's very good.
So unfortunately, just bear with me if you see a couple of little things. It was washed before, but obviously no one is going to eat this one anyway. Apart from what is left in here. No, not the one that it goes in here. Just you can eat this one if you want. You should have seen Maria's eyes going like, what? That's gonna go all to waste. Right. So this is again, as I said, typical mold, silicone mold. That's why you need this sort of flexibility, because can you imagine once this is frozen? Hopefully you will see afterwards. You have to demold it, and if you have like a stiff metal sort of thing, it won't come out.
No.
So just to show you what I would do normally.
But if they want to start with a basic mould, I agree with Robert Allen. They could just buy a silicone donut mould, couldn't they?
Yeah, definitely. Easily. The silicone donut mold will perfectly work. Or as I said, just go to any supermarket or any Amazon, whatever. You can find the normal flat type of pan, which you can reuse for making your own normal cakes. So.
And this is the mousse, isn't it?
Yeah. So
I have to tell you, that looks amazing. That does look amazing.
And my favourite one is actually done with white chocolate, because I quite like this taste. But you can also use the same recipe with milk chocolate. not dark chocolate. I've tried it, and for some, whatever is in the dark chocolate, you know, probably less cocoa, it doesn't really work with this recipe. So just use either white chocolate or milk chocolate, and it tastes delicious still. So you just want to move a little bit. One thing as well, we're not going to need it now because we're not going to really bother to put it in the fridge probably, but these kind of molds are soft. I've learned with my mistake that if you're trying to lift this one and it's like, whoops, it's all going everywhere.
So you need a pan lifter.
So normally, yeah, you need a pan lifter or a tray underneath, and then...
I've got one in that cupboard there.
Yeah, maybe we can take that.
Get it.
If I can ask one of my lovely assistants to get...
You can't have the one-handed one over there.
In the freezer, there is the sponge. Also, the sponge needs to be frozen because you don't want all
the sponge is in the box, isn't it?
No, I'll put it there. Yeah, that's the one.
Right, okay.
It's best if it's frozen because you don't want all the crumbs going everywhere. And what you want to do, you don't want to overfill your form, your mold. Thank you very much. So I've just put it in just a normal plastic thing. And this is, I've already cut it, so it's just a very, very thin sponge. But again, as I said, just use whatever you want. And then you want to basically put it just on top. So it doesn't, you don't want to go too deep inside. You just leave it like that. When I do a proper cake, and again, we're not doing it tonight because that's another process that is so long. And then eventually when, at some point, if I'm going to be doing classes, I will teach the whole thing. Yeah, thank you very much. We can put it maybe there. That's good. Perfect. That's much easier to move now. There is normally, if you don't want it, you can just do it like this and just mousse and cake. But normally it's nicer if it has like in the middle like a sort of filling which is done with the fruit base. But again, that is another complicated thing. We don't have the time for tonight. But you will see it when they cut the cake what I actually mean. So for you guys, if you want to spoon it afterwards.
Oh, look at Maria.
So I'll put this one
just
there.
pass this out.
So we can move this one on the side. Actually, shall we just put it in the fridge? We might just put it in the fridge, can we? Or in the, ideally, this one will go in the freezer, obviously.
She's not filming you anymore. She's off.
Oh my God. And if you just hold on a second, I'm just
get yourself a spoon, Maria. Forget everybody else.
I'm just gonna put this one in the kitchen, so I've got a free space.
No, off you go. That's fine. Don't worry. We're all tasting your mousse. Well, Maria's scoffing the lot now. Get that here, Maria, so everybody can see you tasting that. Have we got any more spoons?
And you know, if you've got like, I think it's perfect if you want to do a trifle. You know, like if you just want to, you've got a bit of sponge biscuit or
quite happy
you know,
to eat it like that.
Like a tiramisu.
I think I know who's going to be licking the bowl after.
Yeah, you don't get this size without trying. So I have tried it plenty of times, and it is quite dangerous. I just love stuff like that. It's just like creamy, and because in Italy we do have a lot, probably in Spain as well. We do have a lot.
This is for me.
Like tiramisu and that sort of, in Spain, in Europe, we do like that sort of kind of cake. And that's done with a synthetic cream. So if you think, oh my God, I don't want to risk it with the cream going off, and especially when the summer that we had. That it was quite warm, and that's what they use in the hotels. It's much safer, for obviously to cover the risk.
Gorgeous, isn't it? Sorry, I'll have to have another one.
You heard everyone.
And you can't really taste the lemon too much, but it does give that.
Oh, you can.
You can.
Yeah, it gives it that little bit of acidity. So that's quite lovely. Right, so what we're gonna do now?
Maria can't cope in case there's none left for her. Well, I have to say, guys, whoever makes that recipe, that is delicious, and it is so smooth and lovely.
Yeah. And again, when it sets, you will see that it's still, obviously you will eat it with a spoon. And it's quite nice. And all my clients, they have said that it's really nice. So, right, so in the meantime now, we're going to move the next bit. So I'm going to try to do this stage as quick as I can so we can go back to the mirror glaze.
What do you need me to help you with now?
We're just going to do the chocolate flour.
Yeah.
So if you just bear with us a minute, I'm just going to get all my bits and pieces here for the chocolate.
Yeah. I'll keep licking the bowl. Go on, Ray, you can kind of lick the bowl then. So, what we're going to do is I'm just going to bring this down to this camera here so they can see. So they can see this bad boy, what she's making. She's not going to make all these for you. But she's going to make a smaller one of these because time is pressing on. So basically, we have to let the mirror glaze just have it's supposed to have overnight to settle, but we're only just giving it 20 minutes. So fun of being a live session. So you can see here that Francesca made a peony, and then she's made ruffles and made a little bubble, and then she's made this one. Now I don't want to tip it on the side, so if Laura's going to do it. I don't want to tip it on the side in case I drop the thing, but look at this. So she's going to make you a smaller version of one of these, just to give ourselves a little bit more time before we get to the most exciting moment of pouring the mirror glaze. And then she's also made some little petal leaves here as well. So Francesca's going to show you how to make those. So I shall move this out of the way. Tell you, Laura, you never go in for that, do you? You're a bit sneaky there, aren't you? You're normally so good, aren't you?
I am normally
So
good
I know.
at resisting.
I will give you, Laura, she is very good. She usually has a tiny little bit, but I've seen her in that bowl 2 or 3 times.
There we go.
Yeah, 4th time.
Digging in. I haven't got a little spoon, I'm being good.
So for those who've joined us a little bit later, it's our 5th birthday week this week. Sugar and Crumbs is, I'm just wasting time really.
Yeah.
Francesca gets everything together. But it's our 5th birthday week this week. I can't believe it myself that Sugar and Crumbs has been going 5 years. We actually started setting up in the company in March 2013. We actually launched our actual product at a show at Cake International in 2013. So, and then all the goings on was before that. We launched our website in the October, and it's grown. It's been a fantastic company. We've had loads of fun. We've had loads of tears, loads of drama, lots of staff, and you know how it goes. John and I have decided whether we're going to stay married or not. Pleasures of running a company, but we're still here together. He'll be killing me afterwards. Anyhow, so for those of you who are watching, Sugar and Crumbs is here to stay. And John has put on a little birthday offer for the weekend. So all your icing sugar works out about £2 a bag, because he's put a 33% discount code on. So you don't need to do anything, you don't need a code, you just go straight onto the website, buy all your icing sugars, and it will automatically sort out your discount. But it is for orders over £15. Okay, so it's orders over £15. Come on, Francesca, carry on. And but don't go shopping yet. Stay here. Watch Francesca. You've got all weekend.
And there's plenty of stock, so no one
And
needs
there's
to
plenty of
panic.
stock. The winter bags have arrived. I know, that killed us that. I will tell you a little story about that. I remember when we first started doing Sugar and Crumbs, and we only had generic bags. And we bought 10,000 bags, and John said they would last us 10 years. So since then we've had various bags, all different flavoured bags. And when I got the winter flavour bags in, we brought in 10,000 in September, believing that would last us for the winter. But they were actually, I think they arrived about the 1st, 2nd, 3rd or 4th of September, but they were out of stock by the 27th of September. So that just shows you how fast our flavoured icing sugars are going now. And it's great. Anybody who hasn't used them, you can use them for anything. So those of you who want to make a mirror glaze tonight, if you don't want to make this amazing cake that Francesca's made, you could make a no-bake cheesecake with our flavoured icing sugars, and then make the mirror glaze over the top. And I think that's what you might have a go with first, isn't it?
Very well.
So, because we like to go the easy route. Anyhow, Francesca's back. Come on, girl.
Okay. Right.
Are you feeling a bit better now?
Yeah, I'm in my element
Is all
now.
the stress gone?
Yeah, all the
Great,
stress gone.
good. Told you
Right.
you were nice here.
You know, as I said, obviously I'm a member of the page, and I saw so many friendly people. And one day I thought I didn't post my stuff at all. I kept looking at other people. And the day I posted my mirror glaze, everyone was so complimentary and so supportive. And I thought, wow, at least some people really appreciate this kind of work. Carol is just dropped a little bit. Just dropped a little bit of the cream. Right, so this flower, the one that we were gonna do tonight, is the one that I did with dark chocolate, and it's one of my favorite one because it looks super complicated, but it's not. Although you have to be a little bit delicate with, and I'm not always very delicate with my fingers. I'm gonna be using white chocolate tonight because I thought it's nicer with the type of colors that we've chosen to put in the middle of the cake. It's nicer to do in white chocolate, so I'm gonna do in white chocolate, but it's exactly the same process in dark chocolate. The only thing is different, it's slightly different the tempering. I'm not going to go in details with the tempering method because you can have a look in loads of different tutorials online, and I'm not going to explain exactly what tempering is.
Yeah, I've got time anyhow.
Exactly, but basically what you want to know every time you do anything with chocolate, unless you're mixing it in a sauce and whatever, so you don't have to temper it, or you're using it in a cake, you don't have to temper it. But if you need to work with chocolate, you have to make it into a workable temperature. And that is the tempering process. So you basically melt your chocolate. With the chocolate that you buy is already tempered. So all you gotta do is basically melt it, get it to a certain temperature, and then go it down to the right temperature, depending on which chocolate you're using. So for milk chocolate, it will have to be about 29 degrees. There are different methods. I'm gonna choose the quickest way, which is with the microwave. So we've got, I've put just a bit of chocolate in a small plastic bowl. Do not use glass because glass retain heat, and then also obviously you think you reheat it to a certain temperature, but it will still carry on heating up if you're using glass. The best way of doing it in most microwaves is to do a small interval. When I started, I'm a bit an impatient baker normally, so I ended up like heating up 1 minute, and then you get out of temper, and then it takes you forever. And the worst thing is, especially when you use you know, the proper chocolate mold, the one that you use the praline, it actually doesn't come out. So it's so frustrating. You think you've done it, you put the chocolate in, and the thing doesn't come out. So it's very important that you temper, not just for that reason, but also because of the shine and the snap that you get when you eat your chocolate. So I'm gonna start tempering this one over there in the microwave at 30-second interval.
No worries. So let me just say, so you carry on and do that.
I'll do that.
So Sally McCormick, thank you for that fantastic comment. They go fast because they are great, Carol. I did see a fabulous comment before about the flavoured ice and sugars when she said when she first tasted them, she just went, oh, you just use essence. And then she tasted them, and hundreds and hundreds of pounds later, she's addicted to Sugar and Crumbs flavoured ice and sugars. So that's so good. So she's just, Francesca has just gone off to melt the chocolate in a microwave. Thankfully, she didn't give me that job because we might have problems. I have to tell you, that stuff is really nice, isn't it? There's still loads of it left. Sat next to Laura. You never see Laura go in twice, you know. Yeah, you two.
Leave some space for the proper cake up.
Oh, we will. Don't worry.
Don't worry about that. Well, we'll have to make sure we get it before Maria gets it. That's the problem.
Otherwise there'll be none left for us. It is
White and fluffy.
lovely. It's like whipped egg whites without the egg white.
So Jackie, we never come to Northern Ireland to demo, but we do go there to visit. So I'm over there for Christmas. If anybody's in Derry, I'm in there for Christmas if you want to meet up for a coffee. And when do the new magnets come to celebrate our birthday?
It's a surprise.
Oh, was it? Oh, right. Sorry.
It was a surprise.
Oh dear. Set her off there.
Sorry.
Today is a surprise.
They're right.
You met.
No. Oh God. Oh my God. As John says, shut up, woman.
Size 7. Oh dear.
You'll make me laugh how you save it. You show me cupboards and cupboards of flavoured ice and sugar. You should be using it. Don't be saving it. Get it all used.
Absolutely.
Oh, that's nice. Carol Butler says, Carol, I remember you at the first appearance at the NEC and I've been going every year, so I will say hello. I've got to be honest, when we go to Cake International and Cake and Bake, but we've got so many people who I see every year, and it's great. You just see the same people come up every year from day one.
Oh, that's
You know, yeah. So Helen Mills, the Fracto Flower, I'm just waiting for a delivery. I'm waiting for a delivery of the Fractal Flowware. All of you should have got your Dinky Doodles now. Some of you are missing your cleaning stations, but Dawn has told you how you can actually clean your airbrushes without using the cleaning station. The cleaning station just makes it a bit easier. She's just waiting to ship those out to you. So she's just waiting for them to come in direct to her. Will any of the winter flavours be available in larger packs? I haven't thought about doing them in larger packs, if I'm honest. And then what else was I going to say? Oh, Amy Sweet Stamps. So I'm out of stock of quite a few of the Amy Sweet Stamps. Spoke to Amy. She's just put me a delivery in the post today. So I should be getting them on Friday. I'll update the website on Friday. Now, that will be the last of our stock until after the show. Amy is actually moving premises and she's trying to make stock as fast as she can because she will be at Cake International. So for those of you who can't get to Cake International, you will be able to top up on stock on Friday. And those who are there, you'll be able to pop over and see Amy herself and get them direct. If any of you want to find any of our videos, you can go to the top of our website. There is videos there, a little video link. Click that, it'll take you straight through to our YouTube page, or you can just pop over to YouTube. If you can, do register for YouTube. All you got to do is put your email address in, and it just means you can give us a thumbs up. We don't want any of those nasty thumbs down, just a thumbs up will do. So please pop over there if you want to check anything out. Sasha Bishop, she made apple crumble cinnamon buns. Everybody said how amazing they were and how lovely and strong the apple was. That's great. Lynn Spools, I think you best sad send me some amazing cough lozenges. You know my address. I need them. I have been in the doctor's this morning, so because it's triggered my asthma off. But anyhow, as they all say, you don't need any medication. Just keep warm, you'll get better. And I would love to drink pink gin, but believe it or not, I have this amazing personality with no alcohol. I don't drink a drop of alcohol because I'm actually allergic to it. So I can't even have an alcoholic wipe my arm or anything. So no, nothing. Let's see.
So how are we getting on? Just to keep everyone updated in what's happening with the process.
So I'm just at the moment I'm tempering the chocolate. So
Do you want to bring that back down here, or have you got? Or you've got to stay near the microwave?
I'll show you in a second now what I'm doing. Then I'll go back in a minute.
Just so we don't forget your ear.
No. So what I've done is I've melted the chocolate, and then it went on 40 because the risk of doing it with the microwave, it can go higher without you knowing. If you do on a double boiler, you got a bit more control of how the temperature goes higher. So that's another good way of tempering chocolate. So what I've done, I'm seeding the chocolate. So I've put unmelted chocolate buttons inside because basically you are reconstructing the crystals they are in the chocolate. So you put the crystal back in because every time you overheat it, you break this crystal. So just to know, without going too technical, you're just basically trying to work it to get to the right temperature. So you still got a few lumps, so I need to keep stirring it. And then once we have tempered it, I'll explain you all what this stuff is, so you can see how I've done the flour. So I'm just gonna go and zap it another little bit because the chocolate is still not melted.
So we've got Richard Crompton back on again, causing trouble after he was playing with his dumplings last week and telling us about his airy chest. Wants to know, can he see Maria? And everybody's wondering why. And it's an innocent question. He wants to see you tasting the mousse again. Oh, look at your eyes light up for any excuse. Crikey. Let's have a clean spoon there, Maria. Yeah, Richard wants to see you eating that mousse again. It's so good, isn't it? Just for you, Richard. Julie be telling us off. Good that, isn't it? It's delicious. You look at there's any left. These two have been scoffing it here.
There's plenty in the fridge.
That's good. Well, my hot toddy would have to be ginger ale, honey and lemon juice. You know what? Why did I not think of that? That'd be nice, wouldn't it? So anybody got any questions they want to ask? Are you sneaking back for more, you? So how are you doing, Francesca?
Yeah, getting there.
So Maria, do you want to bring those lovely flowers forward and the mirror cake so you can see?
I think I don't need.
Oh, she's back. She's back. We don't need to do that now.
Right, so unfortunately with chocolate you have to have a bit of patience. So I'm gonna show you as much as I can, and so obviously with given time. So I've just zapped for 5 seconds again the chocolate in the microwave just to make sure that those lumps were going. And important thing when you do temper chocolate is motion as well, so you have to keep going, you know, like mixing it. So let's check where we are. 32. So we want to get at least to, I can probably put it now in because what happened is I'm gonna to do the flowers, I'm gonna put the chocolate in a piping bag because I need to pipe some dots. So that kind of make it cooler already by doing that, because it goes into the cool bag. So to see if chocolate is tempered as well, one way of testing it is just to use a spatula like this, and then you just shake off the excess. And then what you want to do is, let's see where I can put it. It should solidify fairly soon, within a minute or two.
Oh, can you see it there?
I don't know if you can see it.
No, I can't see that.
Obviously,
Actually,
I can't really.
You come to this camera. Go on. We can
So
see it there.
all I'm doing is just put it like that. So
Is that all it means?
yeah, you just
So
basically
temperature
check.
means it's just sort of
It
setting
will
straight
have,
away.
yeah, you will have to set after
Okay.
a few minutes.
I thought it meant
So
something more difficult than that.
the temperature, it needs to go to 29 normally for white chocolate. But as I said, by the time I'm gonna be put it on in the piping bag, you will end up losing a couple of. It's 32.5 now. Mostly.
Oh, I like that. Elizabeth Moss has said she's going to try a pineapple cheesecake and do the mirror glaze in yellow, orange and red. You did a lovely yellow, orange and red one the other week, didn't you? You sent a picture of. I'm sure you sent a picture over
Did
to me. Yeah. Was it three
Oh.
small ones? And I said that's a bit technical. You put all
Oh,
Halloween stuff on it,
was,
yeah.
it was actually, I don't know if the picture will show it. It was bronze. I've done the Christmas one. Yeah, definitely those colors are nice. So I'm just putting a bit of chocolate in here.
That's it. Carol, rub Vicks ointment on your feet at night and wear socks in bed.
Apparently it helps you cough.
Yeah, that's a nice sight for John, that, isn't it? Yeah, John, rub Vicks in my feet, please. Put my socks on. We're after 9 now, we can talk about these things, can't we?
Yeah.
I'm sure I had a toothpick. But I don't know if I brought it or left it at home. Anyway, so right. So what we're doing now, we've got a bit of. I just took from home like a tall glass, so it's easier to pour the chocolate in. And then, if you can, in order to avoid that the chocolate come out the other end, you can either use one of those pegs or something, or you can just make a small knot. I'll quickly explain what this stuff is. Very easy, kitchen towel sort of roll.
Yeah.
I've just divided it in half because what we want to do, you see those petals, they've got like a curve. So you want the petal to get that natural curve. You need something that is curved. So at home I use either something like that for the smaller petals, or these are actually baguette trays. You know,
Oh, right, that's what they are.
Yeah,
Right.
so if you want to make a baguette as well, you've got them already at home. They are just curved
I did see
trays.
them use them on Bake Off last night, and I thought they were special chocolate things, yeah.
Yeah.
Because didn't he make them round? Didn't he make
Yes.
chocolate flowers?
He did.
I tell you.
Yeah,
Eh?
I think it did. I'm just going to put this one.
We timed it right this week, didn't we?
I know, yeah,
On trend.
without being.
Yeah, on trend, yeah, that's it. We're trendy here.
So what you need is these are acetate, is it
Yes.
English? Acetate sheets, and what it does as well, these one, because when you put the chocolate inside on top of it, the other side will stay shiny.
Do you buy it in a roll or flat?
Yeah, it comes in a roll, and I
If you
just
have a
cut
look
some.
look in that cupboard down there behind you.
Have you got?
There's
okay.
a behind you.
Oh.
Yeah, at the bottom there's a roll there. Terrafilm. Can you see it there at the bottom shelf?
Well, here. Oh yeah.
Yeah. That's acetate. That's a great company that sells acetate
Well,
there.
actually, oh yeah, I'm gonna
Yeah.
have to have a look because
Yeah.
this one feels quite firm as well.
Gonna
This
show
is
my
a bit flimsy.
Yeah.
But
If you want
this
to
one-
use some of that. If you want to show the audience that one. I don't stock it, but they'll be ever so glad that I gave them a mention.
Yeah.
But it's actually very good, that.
Professional quality.
Yeah.
That's quite good. Because also, if you, another thing that I forgot to mention, you don't always have to use silicone mold for the mirror glaze. You can actually use the rings, and if you do use the rings, you know, like the pastry rings, you have to put this around the edges, because then when you demold it, then you, at least it stays smooth, and you can take this off.
Yeah.
So you can use it for the mirror glaze as well. One thing as well that I prepared before I came here.
Yes, Jackie, you can do the glaze on a bundt. That'd be no problem.
Yeah, as long
as it's frozen.
and is from in a mold that is silicone, because otherwise it won't come out. I've prepared some already some inside of the cake, of the flour. So literally, if you got any silicone mold that you can use for sugar paste, you know, the traditional sugar mold. I've got, for example, this one. You can also use this one without any problem, because if, for example, if you take this one, this, you know, like they kind of resemble the inside of a flower. So you can either use this one, even this one, that one, it will be perfectly fine. This one on a bigger
I think that would make
flower.
nice inside that one, yeah.
So you can use definitely this one, obviously not this one, but you can use any mold with chocolate. Once the chocolate is tempered, the most important thing is put the chocolate inside your mold, and then if you want to make it even quicker, just pop it in the fridge or the freezer, and then it's easier to come out. But the good thing with that, even if you haven't tempered your chocolate perfectly, when you use silicone molds, they are fine.
Just watching the time.
Yeah, so I've got those little pegs just to keep the paper in place.
Right, while you do that, we pass this acetate so I can read it out again. So Ma Teresa Knight. Just pass this the acetate. Yeah, brilliant. So while you sort that out. So the Terrafilm, you can buy it. All you need to do is Google it. Can you see that name there?
Yeah.
And if you use that name, it is a really good quality acetate. It is for professionals. Do let them know that Carol at Sugar and Crumbs told you about it, because they're dying for me to tell you about it. And I do use it myself, not very often, but I have done. And so I do recommend them.
Can you reuse
Pardon?
it? Once you've used it?
Pardon?
Can you reuse it?
I don't know, could you reuse acetate?
Yeah.
Francesca?
Yeah, you
I don't
can.
see any
You
reason
just,
why you couldn't.
This
could
one
I?
I've already used them. You just have to wash them with hot water and soapy water.
Yeah.
So what I'm doing here, you can use a toothpick. Normally I use the one the skewers from, you know, barbecue skewer are better, but at the moment I think I can't remember if I put it or not. All you want to do is just do literally just do that in the middle.
Oh,
so
right,
you got
okay.
your,
That's easy.
and that could be just as it is. It could be just your petal, like a small petal.
Yeah.
But for what we want to do now, you just take your thing.
Oh, clever girl, I tell you, Francesca.
It's cool, isn't it?
Yeah,
And then
yeah,
obviously it
it's
goes
good,
down, and then you can either try and put it here.
Wow, I like that idea.
And so gently. It's easy if you have some little pegs as well, so they don't move. This thing doesn't move too much. And then if your chocolate is tempered nicely, you don't actually have to put it in the fridge, but you can put it in the fridge to make it quicker, which that's what we're going to do tonight.
Yeah.
If from one of the lovely ladies
You
here.
bring it down to the
So
centre
can
for
Can you
me.
just show it on here?
Yeah.
Down. That's it. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Thank you.
There you go. That was nifty what you did there, wasn't it? Oh, I like
Wasn't it?
that idea.
And if you want to have an even more special effect, we know before when I've done the dot with the chocolate, if you color the chocolate in a different color, say like red, you put it on top, you flick it through, and then as you go down, it will have a nice line in the middle. So it will make.
You know what you're doing next time you
Next
come
one,
back, don't you? Right, okay,
So
let's
that
move
goes
on.
in the fridge, please.
Otherwise, I'll be having you here doing that tonight.
Yeah.
I'll be up there colouring chocolate again.
Now I'm gonna do 2 trays for the bigger petal. So all you do is you put your tempered chocolate, and obviously the bigger or the smaller you do your drops, the bigger the petal will come.
Do you know what I did with my cup of tea?
With the flour that I did before, the bottom flowers I actually didn't curve them. I kept it because you want to sometimes have just the straight ones. When
So
you
watch this again, guys. Look what she's going to do now.
So when you do this, you want to do it fairly quickly because if it sets, then this one, the top, the the pointy bit, it will not come out nicely.
Yeah. So
So
watch
again,
this.
watch
Now.
again.
So simple. Look at this. Oh yeah.
So some of them are getting bigger than others, and then you just put it there. So this is a bit more tricky to hold. This might not be.
Can you pin it in on the side?
They have to stiff this one. So I'm gonna pin it there.
Mm.
There you go. They're just, I mean, there's something that I had. You can use normal pegs, like the washing line. If you don't use them, just buy, the one that you're not gonna use. So you keep them just for this job. It's not. This is not.
You could leave it on that side.
This is the paper is longer. That will do. Just gently put this one.
Julie Crompton, you could have a cup of tea. I'd like to find my own cup of tea actually. I don't know what I've done with it.
And also,
I drink it.
these flowers, you can either use them the way I've done it this way, or you can actually use it the opposite way. So if you want, like, the flowers, sometimes the petals go down. Yeah, so you can still do that.
Mm-hmm. I did make myself a cup of tea, didn't I? Oh well, I must have drank it and not realised. Have I drank it? Crikey. Can't believe I had time to drink my drink.
When you do these kind of flowers, obviously they are very delicate, but they are perfect obviously for the mirror glaze. But if you do use it for, for your normal cake, maybe just transport them separately for what you would do with your normal cake.
I have to laugh at that. Caroline Lovell says, you make it look easy. Usually that means it's not. You do make it look easy.
Oh, thank you.
But in fairness, I think that is easy, don't you?
Yeah, obviously the first time I did it, it didn't look good. But to be honest, I've not done many since. It's only something that you just have to have patience. With pastry, you can't do things, cut corners too much because that just doesn't work. So while the chocolate now is setting, it shouldn't take long. Just to show you briefly, what you normally need, you can either do very simple and you just, for example, draw a circle, go around with your chocolate, and so you know where you're going to put your petals. But you will need something where your petals are going to stick. So because I've got this mold for my mirror glaze anyway, because these kind of shapes are quite pretty when you put, I don't know if you see some of my cakes that I've already put these kind of things. I think they make it quite interesting. So I'm using this one as a base to hold my petals. And I'll show you quickly what kind of mold it is. Again, silicone matte, and it's called Tourbillon. And it comes in 3 different sizes, and this one is the middle one. And they're just like that, basically. So you put, again, your chocolate in there. The only thing, I think, I just pour it. If you pour it, it doesn't actually go very well inside. It's probably better to put it with the piping bag. So that's the silicone mold.
So I've just been looking at the Terrafilm, guys, but there's an address there. Am I there? Laura, can you see it? So I don't know whether you can see that. There's a phone number there for those of you who don't want to go on the website. Do you want to read it out, Laura?
0330 124 2070.
And what's the website?
It's www.nacindustrial.com. NACindustrial.com.
And they make premium acetate roll, and it's called. Oh, are we?
Sorry, because I don't want to put that in the mold.
I'm just as we've got to wait a few minutes for the chocolate to set. Just to show you literally what you do with the mold. You just put your chocolate inside, and then if you just pop it in the fridge, or actually put
The
it in the
ladies will
freezer,
be lovely to have another use for their Karen Davies mold.
Yeah, see?
Yeah, absolutely.
And, sometimes you don't want to do everything with sugar paste. I mean, I try to, in the way I do my business, I try to be a little bit different from what everyone else is.
Yeah,
And
but
also,
I think that's quite nice that you showed there, because I would never have thought putting chocolate in the mould, would
Yeah.
you?
No.
And the way you only microwave that, so and
Yeah.
put it in there.
you can also use them for buttercream.
Yeah.
If you put the buttercream and you want to do something with buttercream, obviously it's more delicate and then you can melt, but you can put it in the freezer and it would come out even
But
with
in the
buttercream.
moulds there, would you not be able to do a thin layer, let it dry, put in a little bit of jelly thing, and then do a top over the top?
Yeah, I think
Jelly chocolate.
it's just one of those things you just want to use. For example, I try to use what is my strength. I've realized, for example, as much as I love things made with sugar paste, I'm not as brilliant and stuff like that. So you got to find what you're good at and what your passion is. So I've now discovered this, and by coincidence, because one of my very good clients, she saw one of these Mirror Glaze videos, and she said to me, "Oh, you'd be brilliant at that." And I said, I've been thinking about doing it for a long time, and I never got around it. And now I'm just hooked, and I just want to, every day I want to try different.
Yeah.
I've got so many molds as well still that I haven't tried.
Good.
It's just nice to have an audience as well, people that understand.
You've got a very
things.
nice big audience tonight, so well done.
Very good.
So are we?
Shall we check the I'm just going to go quickly to check the flowers to see if they've set.
Yeah. Do they not lean along to set then? No.
The other sponge.
Hello?
Okay, to the freezer.
I'm ready to get running as soon as she gives me the word. If I disappear shortly, it's because Francesca will have given me the nod. Yeah, if you do buy the acetate, do let them know that Carol and Sugar and Crumbs told you about it. They'll be very pleased. Not that I get paid any commission whatsoever, but it would be nice. So they set already.
Yeah, obviously we are rushing. I would probably leave it a little bit longer, but I can see they're kind of. You have to be very careful that they're not gonna break.
Can we see that on there?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna do obviously a very quick version of this flower, okay? Because we don't want to get on with the our meal, okay? So
Yeah.
gently.
We're waiting for your big moment.
So you want to just gently hold them.
And the audience are saying thank you because they learned so many new techniques. And we're here at Sugar and Crumbs. We're trying to bring you as many tutors as we can. If any of you guys know of any tutors that would like to come on the Sugar and Crumbs kitchen and show you guys things, please let them know. Ask them to contact me. Like Francesca said, she joined the community group and saw that that you guys were interested in a mirror glaze, and she contacted me. Simple as that. You know what? Yeah, get on over here, Francesca. I'm very proud of we are too.
Right. So what you want to do, for example, for that flower, you want to position your petals just like that. Okay, you can do it as open, as close as you want. I probably don't have many. I probably need to do really two. It's a very pretty one if you actually do it like this, like quite closed. We might have to do some more.
Before you go any further, because any choice you can just pull forward a little bit.
Yeah, this way.
That's it.
Yeah, just so they can
So
see.
I'm not sticking it just yet because I want to show you what. Actually, yeah, we can get rid of that one. So, I mean, if we have time, I could do some more, but
Yeah.
because it's not going to cover the whole. Even if I do a smaller, but can you see what I'm talking
Yeah,
about?
I get an idea.
So you can have a very pretty. Obviously, what you're gonna do is you can either stick them like that, or what I normally do, I just cut the the sticky bit, so it's not as long. But if you did enough of them and you put it very close to each other, and then the next layer, all you gotta do is just put it in between the two petals, and it looks super pretty. And all you gotta do is just put we'll put a green one after. But let's see, for example, what we can do. So with this one that we've got, so I'll probably, and to be honest, it doesn't have to be super peppery because it's more like
And do you not glue them down with a bit of chocolate now?
yeah, I will in a second. I'm just trying to decide how many I've got. So basically,
Just letting you know it's 5 to 10, Francesca. I don't want to put pressure on you, love.
right. So this one is now set.
You might not be able to take that long to decide how to put the flower.
I'll do it quickly. I just got the chocolate.
So hopefully you guys are going to stay with us.
Oh.
So she's doing a fantastic demo here. You can see how much effort that Francesca, you want to see how much equipment she's brought. So you can see how much effort that she's putting into this tutorial, and showing you the flowers is a real big bonus as well.
I think
So-
Carol thought that I was moving in when I came there. That's a promise I won't.
Little lady, big luggage.
Yeah.
So
I'm
make
just
sure you
putting
stay with us to the end.
I'm just going to put a bit of a chocolate. This is a very, very good tool. And that's something that you can probably stock. Is most
I don't
people,
stock it now,
you don't
but
stock it, but if you
I'm
want
sure
to
they can buy
consider,
that on Amazon as well, can't
yeah.
they?
This is food grade spray ice, and what it does is basically solidify the chocolate very quickly, so you don't have to wait too long. So all you do is that,
That's good, isn't it?
and you've got. So what I was saying to you before, if I wanted to do the other way, the flower, you can do it like that. It's also very pretty, and it's quite shiny underneath because we use the acetate. So as I said, it might look a bit empty, this flower, because we didn't do too many petals.
Great, they're sticking with us even if we have to stay all night to watch that mirror cake. You've got plenty of time for it to be freezing in that freezer, Francesca, don't you worry.
No problem. That's like the showpiece.
Absolutely.
Let's see if this one is in.
You're enjoying yourself now, aren't you? For someone
Yeah.
who started off nervous, she's on it.
I don't want to go now.
Yeah,
Stay
no.
here.
The audience aren't going
You need
anywhere
any extra
either.
stuff?
Eh?
Do you need any extra stuff?
If you carry on, you'll be staying and finishing that flower as well. We'll be having you make more petals.
Yeah.
And if you don't ask this audience, they'll have you making that peony and all in a minute.
Oh, the peony takes a bit too long. So this is a miracle. They use all. If you see,
So it's a
have you ever
miracle.
seen the creme de la creme, or the big, now they call it the British Bake
Yeah.
Off, the professional. That's what they do when they do these massive, beautiful chocolate.
To be fair, Tina Pine's just come up with a comment. Her hands are so hot, she's not sure she could...
You know, my hands are hot as well.
Alex, do you have hot
Yeah,
hands?
I've got hot hands.
There you go, Tina.
So don't worry.
Yep, they're all staying to the end. Don't
You
worry,
can-
Francesca.
I actually brought the glove, which I didn't put on, but you can buy this sort of for do work with chocolate.
I've got a set of them for dusting me for Swarovski with.
So if I can have the other petals, please.
Yeah, come on then, get on it.
So we're doing like a
Don't think you were
closed
brought here
flower.
to enjoy yourself.
Earn your money.
We won't be doing any more flowers after this one, unfortunately.
No, we are only joking.
We are joking.
Yeah, no.
Thank you.
Poor Francesca's got a long drive home as well. So just make sure you stay to the end.
Actually,
They are all staying to the end, they've already said, so don't worry. Everybody's loving the demo. They're very pleased with you.
thank you.
Yeah.
Actually, we can probably, we do have.
And the good thing is, it's all free. All our demos are free, which is brilliant. And of course, you love the interaction with us, don't you?
We can put some more in between. This is nice curved. I don't like this one.
Wendy Champion says she's supposed to be picking up at the other half. I tell you what, Wendy, tell him he can have another pint. He'll be well happy. Hey, what man gets offered another pint? Go on, love, you have another pint and enjoy yourself. Tell him that, Wendy. You won't believe how lucky he is. Wendy's supposed to be picking her husband up from a meeting. I tell you, it does freeze it and put it together quick, doesn't it?
Yeah. And also it's good for people that've got hot hands, because you don't have to mess about too much. I mean, obviously, when I try to do any chocolate work, because I can do tulips as well, they're very pretty. There is a cake I did for my daughter.
Don't be telling them all this, Fran. You'll be here every week. Oh, yeah.
And they are very pretty, but I had to assemble it in the fridge because it was summer and it was so hot. And I
Now
just-
that's lovely. That's just what we want to hear. We've got a new lady watching her very first live at Sugar and Crumbs, Gemma Louise Worley. And she says, I'm watching my first live show and I've not been able to look away. Thank you for showing us. Isn't that great,
There's a
that?
couple of new people on actually.
Yeah.
I saw a couple of people saying that it was their first live
Yeah.
before.
It's so lovely that so many people join us here in the Sugar and Crumbs kitchen. And we are a friendly bunch as well. And you know what? All of you do support all the demonstrators. Get that phone plugged in, Caroline. She's only got 8%. Get it plugged in quick. Go and find the plug socket. But you know, it's good that so many people do come along and watch and stay with us. Helen Mills' husband's gone to bed. Great. That's got rid of one problem. I like it when the men go to bed, don't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now, what I've
Wilson is in bed. We're going to get everybody is. We're
God,
going to...
here we go.
So I've just put the center. So now I'm just going to put some of the, actually,
So I think this is Adora. Hello everyone. This is awesome. I've joined in a bit late. Is this a spiral base made from chocolate? It is. And you've joined at a really good time as well, because as much as you can go back and watch everything, the exciting bit's coming soon.
yeah.
Sue Dove is in bed with her iPad plugged in, so she shouldn't miss anything.
Right, if you want, I mean, I'm not going to do it now because I think we need to get on with the mirror glaze. But for example, what I've done, you know what I did before when I showed you that I did the little blob of chocolate and then I flicked it. If you just freeze, solidify this one, that's where you get little petals. So you can do another flower altogether, but like almost like a sunflower. You can actually put them like that all around.
Well, go on, glue them in. They're all waiting. Don't worry. They won't let you go with a half job, Fran. You've got to finish it. So they're all happy for you to stay.
I don't need to get up for work
No.
tomorrow.
Do you need to get up, Lynn?
Nope.
Nope. Oh, there you
All
go.
right, don't brag.
Yeah.
Lady of Leisure as well.
Maria and Laura do.
So I'm just gonna. Obviously, as I said, they are super delicate things, but once it's finished,
That looks quite nice. That I like
It's
that
quite
idea
pretty.
there. See?
yeah, you just have to use a bit of. They're more whimsical sort of flowers. Obviously, you don't
Yeah,
get
more
more.
Yeah.
fantasy flower, aren't
They're
they?
the best
fancy.
ones, aren't they?
Yeah, that's the word.
PJ Michelle Hearn. It's dinner time in America, so she's quite happy to stick with us. It's
Oh,
perfect
hi
timing.
Michelle. She's my USA customer.
Yeah.
So you get more like the clothes. And the reason why I'm doing it now, because obviously if I put this one, you see, I will not have space to put the other few of the other petals, and I might even decide that I don't want to put it, depending on the way it looks. So you just want to start putting this one now, because as I said, your finger would not fit otherwise.
So would you always start from the outside and work in?
It depends what kind of flower. So you might want to do it sometimes if you want to do start from the inside instead. I think these are. But also, what I love stuff like this. If people are paying for your cake,
Oh, that's good. We've got a lady watching from far, far away in a little country called Suriname?
Suriname.
Suriname, yeah,
Wow.
South America. How far away do you think that is?
Very
How nice
far.
that.
Far enough.
Far enough, yeah.
I'm not going there tomorrow.
Claire Andrews, this is her first live demo. So many tips and great ideas. She's looking forward to trying them. Welcome, Claire. So welcome all you newbies. Oh, Dale, can you message me? I don't know if I ever did sort your jacket out for you. I've got myself that confused with that many different jackets, but can you message me tomorrow? Because I don't know if I've ordered you another one.
look how pretty it's
Yeah.
coming together.
Michelle says hi, Laura.
Hi Michelle.
She's like your best buddy from America, isn't she?
Got loads now. Loads of friends.
Yeah.
Loads of friends in
Got
America
loads,
now,
yeah.
me.
You've got loads of friends from all over the world now, haven't you?
Yeah. Nigeria, America,
Yeah.
New Zealand.
Just need the flight then.
Well, that's it.
They're laughing. They're saying Carol can play pass the parcel with that cam because I keep sticking my hand in and moving it.
Sorry, we're done now anyway.
I'm going to embarrass my friend Barry Rostron. He's watching now. I've got two best friends, Carol and Barry Rostron. He's having a sneak peek. He always says I embarrass him when I shout his name out.
Right, if we did do like what I would have done for this one to finish it off is to do some straight ones, so you can use again some acetate and just leave it flat without curving it, and that will give a bit of another dimension. But I think something like this is quite
Yeah, absolutely. Lovely.
Quite
What do we
pretty.
think of that, guys? Can you bring it down? There we go. What do we think of that, guys? How pretty is that?
I've just changed cameras.
And the best thing as well, you can eat it all.
Oh,
It's all
look at Maria. She thinks it's hers. She thinks it's hers. I don't think so. It's coming right over here, isn't it, Laura?
Beautiful.
Do you want me to show you on this camera?
No, it's you're perfect there. I've zoomed right in.
Nicole, yes, you can order the tops and hoodies in other sizes. I've just ordered mine in double XL, actually. Mine's coming. What's mine coming, Laura? Just have a look at mine.
It is
Where
double
shall
XL.
we put this one?
It is double XL.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you want other sizes, I can order them for you. So I've just ordered mine. Mine's a double XL, and that's for a size 22, 24. I don't mind telling you guys what a lovely big girl I am.
Anyone wants a?
Oh, well done, thank you. I knew that was mine. When do I have to go running off for the cake then?
Now we can.
Now?
Now?
See, or
Down.
just to show you, that's what to show you what the
Down.
temperate chocolate,
Down,
Come
down.
down.
There you go.
the temperate chocolate is. So
It actually sets.
if you don't temper it, you can leave it even 24 hours. It will stay liquid.
That
So you
chocolate
can't
tastes
work.
gorgeous.
You can't work with it. Yeah, Caliber, to be honest, is one of the most used one, isn't it?
Well, that's nice. Jackie Brown said she's used her first icing sugar this week. Pink lemonade meringues. They were gorgeous. Pink lemonade is gorgeous though, isn't it? Yeah. Right. Fabulous darling, Sally McCormick says. Fabulous darling. Right, okay then. So what do you need us to clean up now? Because are we ready for the big moment?
Are we ready to get the cake?
Yeah,
Oh,
if you
Maria's
go
going to
get
go
the
and
cake,
get it.
I'm
She's going to
just
freeze her little fingers again. I'll stay here. You don't want me going out in the cold, do you?
right. So what I'll do in the meantime, then I'll just check my glaze and then see if it needs reheating.
Pardon?
Set her off again.
Richard Crumpton, it's showtime. This is your big moment.
I'm just gonna put it 10 seconds in the microwave. It's actually 34 degrees, but it just helps a little bit to when you blend it again, because I can't put it now. If you can see, it's become a bit solid already. I mean, not solid, but a bit thicker than it was before. So what we're gonna do now, just quickly, just reheat slightly, blitz it again, and then hopefully our cake has behaved in the freezer.
If you want to order the larger t-shirts, just message me and I can tell you what size they are. Karen, how much are those t-shirts?
$14.99, they're in the sale.
Yeah, $14.99. They should be $16.99, but I'm doing them for $14.99. And I ordered Karen some, so she's got hers. I ordered my bigger size, which is why I'm wearing mine today. Mine's a double XL, so if you are a size 22, 24, you want the double XL. Are we going to be okay? Don't panic, we've got to go with this now. So Francesca is panicking. Carol, I'm still having trouble ordering Debbie White. Best thing to do is ring Laura tomorrow after 8 o'clock.
Thank you.
I know, I'm letting you have a late start tomorrow. 8 o'clock, Laura. Late start.
Right, everything is gone pretty much smoothly.
So Wilson, we have showed how to make the glaze. I'm not sure whether Wilson's your name or Kaz is your name. I don't know which way around you've got it. But yes, we have made the glaze and now we're actually going to take the cake out. Now Francesca is very nervous because she brought this cake earlier from where she's travelled from, and really it shouldn't have come out of the freezer, so she's panicking slightly.
Yeah, it is. As you can see, basically what happened to the cake, as I'm trying to demold it, it's still soft. So you would want it super cold. It would have to be like, when you touch it, it normally would be very, very cold. But because obviously I had to travel, I tried my best, but there was some road works and everything, so it took me longer than I expected. So bear in mind, we will show you, because obviously we went through all this trouble, so you will see it. But you're not going to be able to see the smooth effect. That it would probably be lumpy. So bear in mind, obviously this is not what I would do.
Well, let's do it as fast as we can then, while it's as cold as it can.
But basically,
Don't panic.
I can feel that is still stuck to the mold.
Well, it's coming out nicely.
Maybe
It's
not.
coming
not
out
as bad as
nicely.
It's still too soft, but better than
Yes. Don't make excuses. Let's just carry on. Positive thoughts and vibes. Yeah. You haven't taken it off very long there. Right.
So
okay.
Actually, we can work with it. It's not
good.
perfect,
Don't
but
panic.
we'll. Can you see that it's
Yeah.
still chocolate inside?
Don't
That's
worry
fine.
about
But
it.
what I'll do, I'll just.
Splobble it on there.
Yeah.
We like that. We like a bit of rustic anyhow. We're called rustic here. So don't worry, Francesca. Everybody knows. So
Yeah.
at the end
As
of the
soon
day,
as
we
obviously-
couldn't have Francesca move in for the week, so she could just put them
Yeah.
in the freezer. She did have to travel with these. And one of her biggest fears tonight that this wasn't going to be frozen enough.
But it's
You
actually
know
not
what?
too bad. So all you do basically really is just trying to now make it as smooth as possible.
Yeah.
We're just quickly trying to. And what we can do in the meantime while I'm doing that, we'll
Yeah.
put it quickly.
What are you going to sit the cake on now so that you can, so that the glaze comes off? Do you want
I've
to?
got my tray, so I'm going to
Yeah.
put it here because I'm
Yeah.
quite small, so I can't. Normally at home I would put it in a turnable.
Got a little stand there if you want to stand on it.
But that would be too tall, I think.
Yeah.
Normally, what I find easier is to put it on a turntable, so at least I can see where I'm pouring it, especially when I do this technique. But because I'm a bit of a shorty, you can't really. So here's a bit.
I've got a lower
obviously-
turntable. Do you want a lower turntable?
Right, Right, so this is very soft, as you can see here.
Yeah.
I'll show you this other side when I glaze it afterwards, because it's a
Well,
bit
shall we get it
smoother.
on then?
Yeah, we'll put it in the freezer if we can. You know what? Maybe in my bag in there there should be some, like cake cards.
Yeah, don't worry.
Is there one there?
Not that one because I want to use it the end.
Yeah, don't worry,
There
don't
should
worry.
be some in there. If you ever look
Some there.
or if you ever got any cake cards, that'd be brilliant.
This one?
Oh yeah, you can use that one. I've got one, Karen.
We got one?
Yeah, you can use that one.
Okay. I'm
Because-
more interested in getting that in the freezer and you not panicking.
Yeah, because it's
Than leaving
obviously
it out.
very.
Give it
If
to
you
me.
guys, if you want to
You
pick
go
that
wash
up,
your
I'll just go
hands.
wash my hands.
I'll
in the
just show you
meantime.
Manny's t-shirt. Right, okay, so that's going in there. What else do we need, Francesca?
Maybe some new hot water.
Water, right?
Yes, please.
Okay.
And then I'm just gonna zap quickly this in the microwave so I can blitz it again.
So do you want to show everybody what we've been doing, Laura? Or
Yeah.
you could actually show them us running around like idiots up here. at the other
No,
end.
don't worry.
That's about the,
Yeah.
Or if you want to shout out some questions, you can ask some questions.
And-
She's done that the same again.
There's no questions at the moment, and I think you scared everyone by saying just to concentrate.
Shut up and listen.
This one in the microwave. It's too big.
Elaine Lawton just says wing it.
Yeah, that's it. We like winging it here, Francesca. Don't panic at all. It'll all be good on the night.
It's another one. Do you mind washing it?
Is this just for the boiling water, is it?
One empty and one with the boiling water. You can use that one there for the boiling water.
Yeah.
And I'll use that one to pour the whole 3 colours.
Would you pour all 3 colours in the same bowl?
Yeah.
Oh.
And as I was saying at the beginning, it depends how you put them, then you get different results. At the moment, I've got in mind the type of stripe one that I have not been able to do just yet. Because, as I said, no one really tells you unless you pay big money to do a class. And the most, to be honest, you know where all the super brilliant chefs to do these techniques, they're actually in Russia. So they are really, really good, the Russians. So I think I'm going to still use this one.
So I do that when I'm just waiting for the kettle. I know it should have turned it on there.
We almost finished, guys, anyway, so we are towards the end now. So again, trying to mix it gently without getting too many bubbles.
I love the way you say bubbles.
Obviously, when you eat this kind of cake, don't watch the calories because it's not calorie friendly or waistline friendly.
look like we're covered about that.
So again, you can see how shiny it is. So that's what the cake is going. Especially, obviously, you see it more when it's on a flat cake. When you do on the with the one that looks like a
Do
donut.
you need the whisk again?
Whisk. No, I don't think so. You'll end up seeing it more when it's glazed on a flat surface than on a curved one. But we were trying to work out what demo shall I do, and we want to do something that it was interesting as well, not just to do like one color. And I suppose it's something that if you want to do, like if you really want to learn it, then we can start from a basic sort of class to a medium level class or an advanced class, so that's that sort of thing. I'm just waiting for the hot water.
Yeah. Okay.
I saw one not long ago that was like a dark, very dark blue, and then all bits inside it made it look as if it was the night sky. It was beautiful, absolutely.
Is it like is what they do as well? Because when you know a little bit of chocolate work, then you can apply it on the mirror glaze. That's the two things go together.
Watch yourself.
So for example, I think probably what you mean is like you get cocoa butter that you can color it, you melt it, you can color it, and you just flick it.
Yeah.
You flick it with it.
Yes, yeah.
Some people use obviously with non-used toothbrush, but sometimes if you use like a little spatula or something, you flick it, you get lines as well. So that's what I do when I do my.
Is there a reason why we have this in here?
Don't try
I
drying
actually
your
have not
hair with
used it.
It's the heat. It's
I'm a
heat.
bit worried.
Don't try drying your hair with it.
It's a heat
You'll
gun,
burn
which you can use it when you work with chocolate, just to gently heat it rather than put it in the microwave or whatever. So you just if you just need a few degrees more.
Do you want me to get you a low turntable?
If you go one, it'll be easier. Yeah, so you can just, well, I do it on my cake popsicle, I do cake popsicle as well, and do some chocolate work on it, it's quite nice.
Is that better?
Yeah.
Yeah. Pan's going on here. What do you do with all the chocolate that pours off the edge then?
I'll show you what I do, but unfortunately, when you have three colours, you'll end up with a mixture, so you'll end, we'll
Could
see
you
what
say you
colour.
can make chocolate flowers with that? You did before. Would it be good for that?
Oh no, because this is the glaze.
Ah, yeah. Oh.
Yeah,
Ding dong. Right, okay, wasn't thinking.
But what you can do, we'll see what colour comes out at the end. You can just use as a single colour. But basically this is what, unfortunately there is a bit of a wastage. So that's why these cakes are probably quite expensive. Because
Well, I
of
suppose
that
if you were
reason.
going to do a couple, you may as well make it worth your while and do a couple of cakes, don't you?
Yeah, that's what I normally do. I tend to do more than one cake and then at least I can kind of use it.
Do those
But
checks.
this one is actually a lot of glaze that I'll be using tonight. And
Yeah.
what I want to try to do at the moment, so what I'm doing, I'm just wiggling it a little bit. So the little, because the little film that comes at the top, it forms very quickly. So if you just do that and bang a little bit, so it takes off all the bubbles. So what I'm going to do now, I think first of all we prepare our, what I've done here is just basically like a tray with a bit of a border. So when we're going to be pouring our mirror glaze, it will be collected here. And it's advisable to cover your container with cling film because it's very sticky, it's very messy. So at least I'll show you after how you can recuperate some of it. So if someone can get me the cake, please. And then what I do normally when I do these kind of cakes with a hole in the
Just
middle,
be careful, Karen.
I use something like this with a fairly large sort of base. And the reason why I use this one like that is because the mirror glaze will go inside, so I can collect it.
Brilliant.
So what we're gonna have to do now, we're gonna have to take this bit off.
I did.
So we'll just position our cake.
I like that. No calories in round foods. No calories in round foods, oranges, lettuce, pizzas and cake. Well done, Karen.
Unfortunately, it's a bit wonky as well because it's soft, so it's not really ideal. It's a bit too soft.
Do you want that on a firmer board?
We miss the beaker.
Yes.
It's the beaker, yeah, because it's the beaker.
What would you?
Unless, have you got, actually, you know what could be used for? Have you got like a cooling rack?
Yes. I've got a cool one. Yes.
The
So I was
cooling-
asking you before, would you want one of those?
Because the cooling rack, I normally use it for when you do like the small entremets, the small birch, because you can buy individual portion type. But yeah, that's better. Because this one is now is a bit soft, so it's easier if we just do it this way then.
Right, don't pour that yet. So I'm watching.
So what I'm gonna be doing now, we can move this aside. You will need some spatulas like that. I'll show you afterwards what you need it for. So I don't know how I manage with the, because we are a bit short of space now.
That's all right. If you do it on this side,
We're doing this
they
way.
can see you.
They can see it.
Laura can adjust that.
So
And
what
I
I want
can
to try to
adjust this.
do, I'm going to use the main
All right.
strong colour. Can you see it?
Oh, I'm doing the jug first.
She's doing the jug, isn't she?
All right, yeah.
Can you see it there?
Yeah, I was.
Right, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to tilt the jug. So I'm going to try to do it this way. So
I need to see in the jug,
Yeah.
that's the problem.
Oh,
That's
right,
why I was doing
okay.
it here.
Would you
Is
like
that
me
no,
to
I'm
do?
alright, I'm here.
Right. Okay.
then I'm going to put the
We'll look
white
at both
card.
options.
Oh, I just mixed it on top
Can you
of
see
it.
inside?
Sorry, I just made a bit of a mess.
Don't worry, our aprons are very versatile. It will wash off.
And then, because it's still fairly liquid, so it's gone actually inside. So we just leave it like that. So we'll put a bit more.
Do you never worry about putting so much of the first colour that's going to
As I
overtake
said,
everything?
It is a guess because you don't know exactly how it's gonna turn
So I
out.
always think when you put so much of the first colour, that overwhelms
brilliant.
But
everything
because
else.
it goes all in, so at the moment we're not. It might be that is probably the main color gone a bit too much, but and that's what you need to every time you have to kind of try something different. So now you see that is going to be probably what is going to come
Let me
first.
just see.
So I think I'm going to put a bit of white as well there because it's a bit too. Yeah, just let's start it like this. So what you want to do is that motion like this. So it's actually quite nice.
That looks fantastic.
So you want to really don't want to go too as if it's because I've got loads of it, I can actually stay there for a bit more. As you turn, you see the purple nice coming.
Sorry if my hands are shaking. I'm having to lift up the camera. So hopefully you can cope. That looks amazing,
That's
Francesca.
incredible.
So because you're doing it in
God,
this
I can't
motion like
cough.
this, if you do it slowly, you see now
Yeah.
I'm getting completely different colours from it.
Sorry for the wobbly camera. I'm
Don't
just passing
sit
over to
down,
Maria.
Charles.
And I'm just
Yeah.
going over a little bit because
Mr. Cough. Sorry, I need to get past. Sorry, Nick.
You're alright.
Wow.
I can just stop
Wow,
there.
Francesca, that looks absolutely stunning. Come on.
You can
Yeah.
see how.
Are you panicking?
Actually,
What
I'm
you
quite
worried
happy
about?
because that's what I
Thank
wanted.
goodness for that.
I wanted to have the bigger stripes because sometimes it
it's
comes
stunning.
like that, but that's what actually I prefer.
What's everybody saying? Wow.
Absolutely
Wow.
incredible.
And you can see how shiny and
Yeah.
pretty it is. And I said, if your cake was again very firm, and I'm actually pleased that it was the way it is because it
So that's
was.
your big moment. You can
Yeah,
breathe now,
you
can you,
breathe now,
Francesca?
But to be honest, it is quite pretty and
Yeah,
and
it's
it was
absolutely stunning.
depending how, for example, if I chose to put white first and then purple, it would come differently. It's just whatever you
Yeah.
wanna.
Absolutely.
But
looks
see how
stunning.
different
What do
from
we
that
think,
one?
guys?
Julie grabbed us a flipping egg. That's epic.
Okay, well done.
Absolutely incredible.
Absolutely loving it. Well worth waiting for that, guys.
Yeah, definitely.
So what do we do with it now then?
Right, so now.
Oh, that's nice. Karen Tucker says it looks like she goes, wow, it looks like a large Pandora charm. Amazing.
Oh, it's true actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the effect, yeah.
And Sally McCormick, wow, 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 worth the wait. Valerie Swerbrick, is it Swerbrick?
Swarbrick.
Says, wow, amazing. Tina Pine, amazing. Jenny Scales, wow, they all
Even
love it.
Pravinda says wow.
You will not
that's the
believe that. You will not believe what you guys
Well,
don't
he's
know
still
is.
there, my husband. I
still
thought
there.
they got bored of it by now.
What you guys don't know is Francesca has been in a complete meltdown all night trying to be brave in front of you lot. She has panicked about her cake so much.
And it's my first live demo. I've never
Yeah.
done anything like this, so that was the main thing I was worried about.
No,
But
absolutely amazing. They love it.
But these guys have made me feel really at home, so it was
Yeah,
actually
well
quite
done.
easy. I'm actually quite chuffed today because I don't know if you can see the shine on this
We
cake.
course you can.
absolutely can.
It's
can.
stunning.
Absolutely.
Of course
Yeah.
you can see it.
And ideally, as I said, this is how I like it. That's my favorite part.
Yeah.
This is still very nice, but you can see the stripes are slightly low. I mean, if you want, you can carry. The thing is with when you do go on mirror glaze, you don't want to overdo it because then you'll end up with a very thick layer of glaze, and it's not as nice. But in plus, it can be, as it sets, it can become quite cloggy. But I think because the glaze was still fairly fluid and the cake wasn't that frozen, it's actually worked anyway.
So that looks absolutely
Sophia
amazing.
says it
Let's just
looks
turn it
excellent.
round.
Oh,
So
thank you.
let's turn it round.
Thank you, darling. Thank you, Sophia.
There you go. So what would you do with that now then? How are you going to get it
Right,
off
so
there now?
the difficult part now, and that's one of the
Simon
things.
stopped watching his horror movie and went, wow, loves that.
So what we want to do, obviously, again, bear in mind this cake is quite soft, so my hands might get a little bit messy. So you want to have that's where the spatula come in to use. So you.
Nesme, so let me just hold that. No, there's no, we've not done a veggie version, sorry. And Francesca's never made a veggie version. She has seen that there is versions, but she's not made one herself.
And just you have to bear in mind the shine will not come as much if you do it with unfortunately with the veggie version. But by all means, obviously those are important things to consider if you.
Well, they all think it's absolutely amazing, and the audience has stayed with you as well all the way through, which is fantastic.
Right. So this is the difficult part again because the cake is a bit soft, so it might get a bit.
And
messy.
what will you do with this now? Will this go in the fridge? So can I just?
So
turn the
what I'm
camera
doing
that
at the
way?
moment, I'm actually just trying to get my hand off it there.
Okay.
So you want to put it in there, and then if you have like baby wipes and stuff like that, you can clean off this bit.
Yeah.
So
Baby
I'm just
wipes are
quickly
so
gonna-
good, aren't they? For a multitude of things, aren't they?
I'm just quickly gonna clean my
Your-
hands.
yeah.
Because it's all
Kitchen
very
rolls
sticky.
there. Yeah.
And then
That
I'll
way-
just go in the sink just to take these off because I don't
Yeah.
want it to go all the way in around the
Yeah.
floor.
And then you're going to tell
And then
us
I'll
what you
bring
can do with
back
that.
this one to show you.
You impressed, Maria? Look at that face. We're going to cut into the other one, guys. We're going to cut into it. We're going to cut the one that she made earlier so you can see what the inside was like. Might let Richard watch Maria eat it. She seems as he's got a bit of a fetish for watching Maria eat things. So we know all about his dumplings and his sprouts and his peas from the Sunday.
Right. So now, as you can see, unfortunately, because we've done 3 colors, then now you'll end up with this sort of funny color. But if once it's all mixed, you can still use it as a one color, or if you don't mix it too much. But if you had another
but if you had another mirror glaze now, you could have just poured that straight over.
and then you will still end up either with patterns, or you can end up with this sort of color, which you can probably adjust if you put a bit
I think
more
I
white
would
or-
have just poured it all over.
Yeah. But because
So what-
obviously we're not doing another cake now, and then I'm gonna put it back in the jug, and then
Can you save that and use that for another time?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
obviously
then, isn't it?
don't leave it there for too long. Maybe
No.
just do another cake in a day or two
Yeah.
maximum. And then what you do is again the same thing. You obviously as you blitz it, will make one color.
Yeah.
And do the same process. So
Yeah.
you do that now by. So there is a lot of glaze in here, so some might ooze off. So yeah, it's a lot.
Would it
of
not
glaze.
just been good just to have poured it? You're not doing it the hard way.
Actually,
Could
could
you've
do
just
it.
not poured it the other way?
You know what? I might do that because normally I do that. I just fold it, but because there's a lot of glaze in here, I wanted to. That's why I did a lot because I didn't want to have to worry that it
Yeah.
was not covering the whole cake.
Yeah.
So we're just gonna have to do it this way now.
Yeah. Okay. Great. So no, we've not done a vegan one, Geraldine. Sorry. So anybody who's vegan, sorry, we've not done a vegan one. This is just with normal gelatine. And we've lost Francesca now. She's behind this big pan. We cannot see. Can you see her?
Yeah, sorry, it's just to show you basically. It's a messy job, and I did.
And somebody's just asked, Rianne Smither says, can you freeze the leftover glaze? Do you want to get one of your spatulas, scrape it down?
Not really. I wouldn't recommend it because I think the effect that you get is the gelatin will get really thick.
Watch.
It gets really thick, and I think it's.
I didn't want you to capture your cake.
Yeah. I mean, you can try. As I said, it's not something I've tried, so I can't say for sure. But So this one as well, what I was trying to do before.
Sorry, you've got to taste things, haven't you?
Absolutely.
It does look a bit gross, so sorry for.
No, but it's a good tip though, because it's how people know how they get every bit.
Yeah,
You don't
because
want to waste it, do you?
you've seen how much chocolate we've used, so obviously
Yeah.
it's a bit of a shame to throw all away.
Yeah.
And normally you might want to add a bit of white, or if you don't like this sort of color. But I think once it's all mixed, you should be fine. So just a bit gross.
So
You
we're
can
going to cut the other. We're going to cut the other cake in a moment.
Right. Let's
So,
get rid of all this.
We're just going to give Francesca, the assistant, up to the kitchen.
I'm just gonna less so we can clean this
Yeah.
table a bit.
Clean up. Right. Let's get the cut.
Sorry for your kitchen.
You go straight for the kitchen.
Yeah.
Well, it could be worse. It could be covered in gold dust. Just take that up there. So do we need to put some cling film over that? We do.
Yeah, we can put some clean film so it doesn't.
So I'm just going to clean up because I'm going to bring the other one. I'm going to cut it. You're going to ask me for some hot water now for a knife, aren't you?
Oh
I've
yeah,
got to spoil the kettle again. I'm going to use that other one.
we got it everywhere. Basically. You know what? You probably can eat this one as well because it's almost defrosted. I actually quite like it when it's semi-defrosted because it almost tastes like ice cream. So it's got that sort of.
You didn't say that earlier when you were in a
Yeah, you know, like a baked Alaska sort of thing.
You're
Definitely.
getting all cocky now, Francesca, just because it worked. When you're having a nervous breakdown earlier.
That's true.
Being
My husband will tell you that I do get easily. Because you want to be as professional and perfect. And everything.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong
I mean,
with that.
if I tell you what I've done once, you're gonna laugh. How important the gelatin is for these kind of jobs. I prepared the gelatin, put it in the fridge because I thought, well, in the meantime it sets. And then I did my mirror glaze, and I completely forgot about the gelatin. And then I got to pour it on my cake, and I thought, oh, that's look really nice. And then after a few minutes, I could see all the glaze was pouring out of the cake, and I was like, what's happening here? So I couldn't understand what was happening. And basically, if you don't put the gelatin, it won't stick at all. So that's
So I'll have someone ask, how long would you wait before you put the chocolate flour on? Would you wait for it to set at all, the glaze?
You
Or
can put it in the fridge, but to be honest, no, you can put it on top.
doesn't
if you want.
matter?
Obviously, this is because we are
Can
doing
you
it
seal
quick.
that there now?
There is a bit of a spillage, but still, let's
Yeah.
put it this
I
way.
need to
So can you
push
seal
that
that
out.
there?
Need to push this one.
The chocolate flour. Well, I don't know if you guys want to put it or not, but
No, we're going to cut into. Which one are we cutting into?
that one.
Right, okay.
But
Because
say like I'll show you what it will look like. I'm not gonna put it there just yet because I said the cake looks nice as well with that nothing. You can put sprinkle, you can put gold leaves, you can put whatever you like.
Wait a second.
Okay, and that. So you can also put this one in the middle, and so you look like you got a little flower in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's it. So now
Thanks.
we can. I don't know if you
Let's get
guys
a knife.
want to take some plates so we
Yeah.
can. The glaze goes everywhere.
The problem is we've got no plates left because Karen's brought cake in. We've all stuffed it.
So for anyone who's missed it, there's a few people saying that are we going to repeat it? No, we won't repeat it, but the whole Facebook Live will be pinned to the top of the Facebook page. So you can re-watch this demo back at any time. You can also watch it back on YouTube. It will be uploaded to YouTube by the end of this week. So head over to the YouTube page and subscribe, and then you won't miss any of the latest videos that Maria does, including the 1-minute videos and the past Facebook Live tutorials. So there they are in all their splendour.
They look absolutely amazing. So well done. So we'll just all have a little.
Actually, if I have a bit of kitchen,
Yeah.
so we
I
can
might
clean.
take that out of there.
Yeah,
You
we can
use that,
clean
can't you?
the knife.
We can
there.
stick it still in there, can't we?
What we were saying before, obviously for a cake like this, if you want to serve a nice slice, you need to clean your knife in between, because if you don't, then you'll end up dragging the whole colour, especially because the cake inside is white and then you'll have all these colourful glaze. So just to show you how nice and soft it is. Nice wedge. Oops, didn't need it opening. so that you got the filling. This one I've done it
Wow,
with the filling inside.
wow, look at that.
So I'm using my finger. Oops.
We don't care.
You
Don't
see it?
worry. Can you just spin the cake round for us so we can see inside?
So this one is nice because if you put an element of fruit, in which in this case I put passion fruit, so I thought passion fruit and white chocolate goes nicely
Didn't see you
together.
then.
Hey?
Didn't see you then.
Yeah.
At least you've got some,
Whose is this?
yeah.
I'll have to
You-
give it
you
to the
do
guest first. Go on, Karen. That's yours first.
Oh, I've been waiting for this.
How
If
lucky
you've
are
got
we?
like a serving sort of, you know, those spatula they use for serving cakes, that's even better.
This lady only wants a tiny little piece.
It is.
Don't worry, Maria will have hers. Is that too big?
Just in a slice.
Smaller, please.
There you go, Laura.
Thank you.
Hey.
I'll have to run even further this weekend. Burn the calories.
So who's going to give this a go? So I think I'd be a bit nervous about doing the whole cake. But I think I'd give it a go on a cheesecake, on a frozen cheesecake, just to get started. I think that'd be good.
Yeah, you just have to take it in stages, really.
It's good.
It's
Well,
amazing.
in fairness, that mousse you made before was amazing.
It's a different dimension with the fruit inside as well.
Yeah.
So guys, thank you for joining us tonight. It's been a great Facebook Live. Thank you to Francesca, you've been an absolute star.
You're welcome.
Seriously, she's been in a complete meltdown about this cake because it should have been frozen solid for 24 hours, and the chocolate glaze that she's made should have been also in the fridge for 24 hours, so she's had to do it in this short time. So we whiled a bit of time away while she showed you how to make a flour to give herself more time, and look, it was amazing, absolutely amazing. There was no need for her to panic.
Any more you?
So thank you, that's mine.
For you.
Yeah. So again, thank you for watching Sugar and Crumbs. We are back on Monday with Zoe Quacker. She's here making models. Marie, what models is she going to make on Monday?
Animals.
Animal models. Are they actual models or cake toppers?
Models.
No, actual models. So that's going to be a great demo of Zoe on Monday. She's been in twice before and you've absolutely loved her. Single-handed creations. Francesca, please go over to her page. I'm going to get her to tell you what the name of her page is again. Please go over, like her page, and do message her. Let her know how proud you are of her because she's done a great job. It's a really hard task to do this tonight. And don't forget, Sugar and Crumbs is 5 years old this week, and John has put on a special offer. No need to put the code in or anything like that. All you need to do is spend over £15 on ice and sugars, and you'll get a 33% discount. So your sugars will work out at £2 a bag. So grab them while you can. And Francesca, do you want to tell the name of your page?
Yep. On Facebook and Instagram is Sugarcoated by Francesca Falbo. I'm doing at the moment my blog website, which is still under construction, but if you want to, at the end, if you just go down and you want to subscribe, you can subscribe, because the point is I'm going to start doing maybe small videos and put tips and stuff, so it will be useful for any bakers that want to learn a little bit more of these kind of things, not just this one, because I do normal baking as well. So if you want to subscribe, it will be brilliant. But if you want to follow me on Facebook and Instagram, but also Twitter and Pinterest, so
Get them
as
all
usual.
in.
I would
Is there any you've
appreciate it.
missed?
No, I think they're although I don't like using Twitter so much, but yeah, mainly Facebook and Instagram. Don't choke me now.
How I've not choked myself tonight, I really don't know. But anyhow, it's absolutely amazing cake. I do hope I get to see you guys make it. Really do give it a try. It's been a fabulous demo. I have always wanted to watch the Mirror Glaze Cake, and I think you've done an absolutely amazing job.
Thank you.
And we'll see you guys on Monday. I put up the Sugar and Crumbs Bake Off Challenge last night, so do make sure you enter that as well. Okay, our winner last night was Cara Mary, so well done to Cara Mary. And we will see you on Monday. So only one Facebook Live in the kitchen next week, which is Monday night. And then we'll be doing 2 on Friday. Lydia at 10:30 making a David Austin rose. She'll be live at Cake International on our stand. And at 3:30 we will have Alison Johnson doing a live as well, and I'll be doing a live over the weekend. I don't think we'll do 3 in one day because I think Maria will just pass out, but we'll probably do a live on the Saturday or maybe the Sunday of me using nifty nozzles. So again, thank you guys for joining us, and I will see you on Monday. And thank you, Fran, you've been an absolute star. Well done.
Thank you.
Good star, isn't she? Little cracking. Well done.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye bye.